charged under. And I don't think it, I think it slipped a lot of Jamaicans what really they have been charged under.
Mhm.
Yeah? Now, two things them charged under. And let us just make it clear.
Yeah.
They have been charged under the Banking Service Act.
Yes.
They have been charged under the Banking Act of Jamaica. And they
Yes.
have been charged under the Securities Act. And in the case of Zachary, he has been, no, in the case of Krosky, he's been charged for larceny as well, under the Larceny Act. Yeah?
Mhm. Yes.
Now, I look at all of those provisions and I've run them. You know, me a researcher, Colin.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And this is my field. Yeah? So
Yes.
about this is my field. What are the provisions under the Banking Act of Jamaica, Section 42 to be specific? Yeah?
Yes.
We can, when I go in, I'm going to send you a copy of it, Colin, for your reading. Yeah?
Yes.
When you when you look at the offenses section, right, which is section 40 to 44, 42 to be specific, the offenses is you pay $250,000
How much?
per every million. 200 and let me give you the offense.
200 and something thousand
Let
dollars
me
per
give
million.
Yeah, let me give you the offenses right now, Colin. Let me get the thing here because I have the thing. Because I was just reviewing it and going through the preparation of it. See, okay, now
You're breaking up a bit, Ed boy.
it.
You're breaking
You hear
up
me
a
much
bit.
better now?
Yes.
Yeah, right. My internet tends to be very unstable in the house here for some reason. Okay, so I'm at section 29 now. So it's page 60 for the reading of anybody. It's the Banking Act of Jamaica. Yeah?
Mhm.
So we are on page section 42. I just had it, you know. Section 42. Okay, nice. We're there. The offenses. So you know each act has an offensive section. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Penalty sections as well. So
Yeah.
42 4 says a person who is fined is imposed under this act may be sentenced in default of payment thereof to imprisonment with or without hard labor in the case of a fine. Not under here the fact now. Exceeding $200,000 for a period not exceeding 3 months. Exceeding 200,000 but not exceeding $1 million for a period not exceeding 6 months. Exceeding $1 million for a period not exceeding 12 months. You hear that?
Mm-hmm. And you're saying it's 200,000 per $1 million?
Well, this act is now saying for exceeding $200,000 but not exceeding 1 million. So under these act, right? Under the act, so for every 200,000, you get 3 months charge. Yeah.
So what you're saying is basically little or nothing.
That's the point. So I'm saying if I have misappropriated my client's funds and I have somewhere hide something hide, I probably just pay the fines.
But after you're found guilty and pay the fine, you can then be sued by each individual.
Go again, Colin. I didn't hear you.
After you have paid that fine or served the time, once you are found guilty, you can then be sued by each individual.
Absolutely. But understand, if you kick in the Insolvents Act, which file bankruptcy,
Yes.
yeah,
You become a man of zilch.
good.
So suing you don't make no sense.
Suing you don't make no sense because you have been publicly declared broke. And by the way, these guys don't hold money in them name. Let me tell the entire country they don't hold it in them name. Them have some trust set up in Cayman. Them have some trust set up in BVI and Turks and Caicos. Which these trusts sometimes are irrevocable trusts. Yeah, they're very strong because the trust sometimes is locked up in a holding company that's another company.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting to see. But then I realize something that there might be the US is involved in this, you know. And I didn't say much last night on a particular program I was because I wanted to withhold the information until I confirmed it. There was a lodgment made by a particular Jamaican without disclosing who the person is,
Yes.
yes, who was
Yeah.
defrauded.
Yeah.
And that individual made a lodge of complaint with the SEC in the United States.
Also, so somebody made a complaint to the US.
Yes, because remember, when you are selling securities, stocks and bonds belonging to the United States, it's a regulated entity. No matter where they're in the world, you can't sell American stocks and securities without being properly regulated in your jurisdiction, plus in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, that individual reported to the United States that the SEC, to the SEC, in fact, and the person is a resident of Florida. And they reported to by the way, the home state of the president, not just New York. Remember, says Trump state that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Trump
They
River was West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach or
Yes.
Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And they raised the issue with the SEC. Now, if you realize they have charged Zachary Harding and his followers under the Securities Act.
No, Zachary get charged yet?
Yes. Well, no, the charges are there waiting for him. Sorry, the charges are there waiting for him. My bad. The charges are there waiting for him. Right? So, but what I saw in the Gleaner this morning, the proffered charges. So I'm surprised they're asking. Let me double check here. Let me double check here, Colin. I one thing we don't say, no, we don't want to make mistakes. Yeah? But I saw in the Gleaner this morning said it. It said update you Crosby daughter Sarah Maney and Zachary Harding being questioned in SSL probe.
Yeah.
And it goes to say that Zachary has been, let me get Zachary's thing here. It says Harding was being held on reasonable suspicion. Harding reported to investigators later Saturday. So he came to them Saturday. So he's there with them now. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
I am just simple.
Go ahead, boy.
I'm just simple saying the securities aspect. I am seeing possible extradition requests coming.
What?
Yeah? Yeah, once you breach, Colin, I tell people, and I said to the young people, them who said them at please leave American citizens, British citizens and Canadian citizens. Their governments will defend them till death.
Hold on. I want to play about this clip here from RGR. Hold on the head, boy. Let me play about this clip here from RGR so everybody can hear a little more.
Former Stocks and Securities Limited Director Hugh Crosby, his daughter Sarah Meany, and ex-CEO Zachary Harding are being questioned by authorities on reasonable suspicion of breaching multiple financial and corporate laws. The Financial Investigations Division also says multiple electronic devices and documents related to the collapsed investment firm were seized during today's pre-dawn operations in St. Andrew and St. James as part of the ongoing investigation into the collapsed investment firm. The Financial Investigations Division says investigators are assessing all matters arising and forensically inspecting all evidence collected. Crosby, the founder of SSL, his daughter and her husband Dermot were taken from separate premises in St. Andrew and Kempshot District, St. James, during the coordinated operations that included FID, the police, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency. The FID said Crosby and Meany were taken into custody on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Bank of Jamaica Act, the Securities Act, the Larceny Act, and the Banking Services Act. Harding reported to investigators this afternoon to be questioned in the presence of his attorney. Harding is being interrogated on reasonable suspicion of breaching the Bank of Jamaica Act, the Securities Act, the Banking Services Act, and the Companies Act. Meany's husband, Dermot Meany, was arrested for an alleged breach of the Firearms Act, which the FID claimed was discovered during the operation. The FID said Dermot Meany, a licensed firearm holder, was found in possession of ammunition exceeding the legally permitted amount. According to the FID, documents related to SSL and multiple electronic devices were among the items seized at the premises where Meany was held. Earlier, the FID said its operations were linked to alleged fraudulent activity at SSL, which became public in January 2023. To date, the only person charged is former SSL client relationship manager, Jean-Ann Panton, who was slapped with multiple offenses in February 2023. Panton has claimed that her initial confession was made under duress due to an alleged offer from Hugh Croskery. She has since recanted the confession and denies any involvement. Croskery has denied the allegation. The FID previously indicated that more than 200 client accounts were affected in the alleged fraud, which it said involved over 30 million US dollars. A company owned by sports legend Usain Bolt is among the impacted clients. Earlier this year, Bolt expressed displeasure over the pace of investigations. And the director of communications.
Let's leave it there. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we, all of us right here, listening to me right now, subscribers to this channel, for we are like trees planted by rivers of water that will bring it forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves will not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for this Tuesday evening. Yeah. You know, Tuesday evening is 3 hours of talk, 3 hours of you, me, our guests, and everything. Because we are Jamaicans. And, you know, anyway you're born, give you that natural right. Now it is up to you to use that right, because me hear them say them I try to take out this thing away. If you're born America, you're not American. But what can go so? And then Prime Minister Holness told Mark Wolid, so just said that just merely being born in Jamaica, no make you a Jamaican. What them they mean? What them they mean? That's something that you can't change, you know. And you, as an individual, have no say over where you are born. That decision is made for you by your parents. And therefore, you can't just tell a man say you're born yes, but you're not that. Yeah, you're born. Your navel string cut this up. And that should make you owe an allegiance to this. So those of us who love Jamaica and continue to pray up Jamaica and speak truth to power, because we don't want Jamaica to be a banana republic, which it look like right now, a banana republic. So this evening we're going to talk a little bit more about SSL. It's in the news and lots of speculation, critical thinking around here, where we discuss ideas, looking into the matter, and just commentating on the matter. Yeah? We talk to some people who say them know or have ideas of what is happening. So we also want to hear your views on it. Anyway, you're born, you're a citizen there of your life. You can't change that. You can't give up that the citizenship there. So me hear someone talk about Matthew Samuda and Julian Robinson and give up their citizenship. Then the citizenship they can't give up. Born in England, you're an Englishman. For life. You can't change that. Yeah? So, but all them foolishness there. Oh, yes, he did. He did. Yes. He said that he has not gone to court yet, but he will be assisting her. Yes. And that's yes to the question, did Isaac respond in regards to? Yes, he did. And it's a confirmation. So you all were right. But it never supposed to be out there yet. Yeah? And you all told me, I never know. But I made the contact. Yeah. So Matthew, that don't make no sense. Matthew Samuda give up no citizenship or Julian Robinson. Where you born or where you born. And the Constitution of Jamaica says you can be Prime Minister. You can be MP. It's just Colin Bell's view that if you're not born at Jamaica, you should not become Prime Minister. That's Colin Bell's view. I mean, no matter who born where. I endorse the United States law on that. Only a born American can become a citizen, a president. Only a born American. And I'm saying only a born Jamaican should be able to become prime minister, head of the government. It's my view. So let's hear what was in the headline this evening. We normally take the headline from RGR 94 FM. Hold on, caller. We have to take the headline first from RGR 94 FM. Today's headline, today in the headlines.
There is a major pushback by the country's church leaders over criticism leveled by government MP Everett Warmington about the $75 million earmarked by the government to support churches in the wake of Hurricane Melissa.
So the whole question of amassing wealth where churches are concerned, I don't understand that, because we all have financial difficulties and challenges to fulfill the mandate in any fulsome way.
Residents sheltering at the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland are refusing to leave until the authorities offer them a viable space to relocate. St. James Police searching for gunmen behind last night's quadruple shooting. Press Association of Jamaica pays tribute to sportscaster Donald Oliver, who passed away today. In business news, BOJ tightens liquidity, pulls over $29 billion to curb inflation pressures. The discussion.
When will somebody from the government come forward and talk to the nation about this mapping up, the constant mapping up of liquidity? What the government is doing, people, is saying to businessmen, you don't need to develop any new companies or any new business in Jamaica to make money. I want everyone to understand, say, mapping up of liquidity means that the government is saying to people with money, nobody go in a farm, nobody go develop no big goat farm or no big chicken farm. Nobody set up no new manufacturing business. Nobody go set up no fish farm with your money. The government is saying to business people in Jamaica, don't do no business. Give with the money. We put it in at the bank and give you 6% on it. What kind of country can run so? Hey, what kind of country can? I don't think country can run so. Where the government is saying, at the drill this, the $32 million drill. The $32 million drill. Hold on. I am simplifying this for you. Every time you hear Ralston Iman come on here and say, I'm going to start it up. Every time you hear Ralston Iman come on this channel here, or the Power 106, and say, boy, the government have map up liquidity this week again. It's not a good thing. So the government have no growth strategy. Because you can't talking about growth. New business for export more, so as to earn more foreign exchange. And you are saying to the business people in the country, nobody go set up no new business. Don't expand your business. No expand production. Give us the money. We will put it down, do nothing with it, and give you 6% interest on that money. They're going to map up tomorrow. We're going to talk to Ralston Iman somewhere after 6 o'clock. Share up the live, my people. Share up the live. Everybody on the platform right now, just share it to 2 or 3 more person. Boom, bam. WhatsApp group, just share it to the WhatsApp group. Share the live to the WhatsApp group right now. Share it up. Because we need to understand what is happening in Jamaica. The country needs to grow. And the government is saying to business people, Give us the money, we put it down for you. Nobody invest. Tell them to come tell me, say, I know that them must say when you map up liquidity. That's what it is. You're saying to the business people, don't buy no United States dollars so as to go buy more raw material. Don't buy no US dollars to go buy new equipment to increase your output. We will put on this money for you. That is why the country can't grow. So you do that, and then you as government is not spending what you plan to spend. Because you also said that you are going to increase, you're going to develop the infrastructure, but you're not doing that. The amount of money that you lay out to say you're going to fix road and build house for people, you're not spending it. Let me take a call, an early call. Good morning, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Make up your mind. What time I do?
Afternoon.
At
three different times that me give you know.
Yes, man, I realize, man. 3 days, man.
Hallelujah. Wagwan.
But let me tell you, yesterday, me on not talk about birthday. Well, I must inform you guys that you see, I don't know who take long for born in that year.
Yeah.
I found a problem that my birthday will be Thursday, first day of the year.
Hallelujah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
So Marcia and Capricorn too? What?
Yes, man.
What a whole heap of Capricorn.
Yeah, tell them, man, that's why we're so smart.
Tell her. Are
Yes,
we so fool? Which one are them?
Well, look here, them have a speech where they make, you know, and it being the same thing both way. When them say wise men think alike, and fools seldom differ.
Tell her.
Yeah, mean the same thing either way. Now, I must first tell you this. Warmington is not my favorite person, but I can't get to disagree with him this time around.
Why you agree with
Listen to me, man. The church making millions of dollars.
Some church.
Dalford Davis
Some
run
church.
Dalford Davis' salary almost bigger than the Prime Minister's salary, you know.
We don't know. So some church making money, not all.
Yes, some church make more than other, man.
Yeah,
Some
man.
church make more than other. What if a church, man? Them a make money, man. So you have to take the taxpayer money now. Figure help the church. The church collecting money in a whole heap of way. You in the church, you pay tithes and offering from you start the church until you end. When you're dead, you do have a pension I get. Or no, when you're dead. When you're dead, then collect an offering over your church bill already, you know.
Let me tell you.
And when you go there and you're dead, then collect an offering over you're saying here that the building fund. The church don't build, you know.
But Marshy,
so yes.
The church have to be operated as well, you know. Water bill.
Don't the church have no, man.
Hold on.
Give
Water
an offering
bill,
to the church.
light bill.
Yes, man.
So the government
That's
give
why
offering to the church $75 million on a whole per money, Marshy.
Well,
let me tell you something.
The people them a piece of feel about how much money can help them right now.
Hold on a little bit. Hear this. You see the church? A whole heap of church down at West Mash up. I go down there and I see them. Church flat.
Yes.
No. The government is not short of money to help the people them down at West. So don't mix up orange and apples. And I like the government have a little bit.
Fruits.
Hold on.
They are fruits.
And all right. And I like the government have little bit of money where you say the government cannot afford it. Marshy, the government right now at them foot, them have $115 billion. Them not start help nobody yet. Them uncle announce say them a give the church that. You think the church get that yet? Or I get that? See the people them in a Petersfield, they say, yo, we're not coming out till you don't give us somewhere proper to live. And I don't wrong the people because the government have the capacity. Well, the government have the finances to do it, but obviously they don't have the capacity to spend it. Neither the capacity from a conscience point of view, or the capacity from a caring point of view, or the capacity from this thinking point of view, or the capacity from just a humanitarian to help. They have the money. Money is not the problem.
It's the distribution.
Listen, man. Yeah, hold on, Marshy. Don't move. Hold on. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hold the line. I'm coming back to you. Hold the line. So when I said to you, Marshy, $75 million to the church I have absolutely no problem with it. There are some churches where don't have no money, and there are churches where assist, because there are some churches who are not storing up money. So if you can assist them, and I think the government should, because the members of the church pay tax too. So people are talking about taxpayers' money get the church. Whole heap of people who are at church are pay a whole heap of taxes.
Yeah, but the church in itself not pay tax.
No, but a lot of people going to church pay tax, and the church them building damage. And as me say, government must assist. Government need to assist the churches too.
But I mean prioritize, because you have people out there who need the help more, like those who don't get a roof over them head and all of them.
Marshy, wanna start. Yeah. You see, one of the things what we are doing, what we are lego the government is to behave like the government don't have the money to assist the people who need to assist.
Well, we know they have it.
Yeah, so it's not the money are the problem. So what we are talking about $75 million. People don't come to no senses. $75 million is a penny.
Yes.
To build back. How much church you think that, hold on. How much church you think that can build back? If you give a church, if you get a church and mash down flat, Mr. Church where walls tear down. If you give them $1 million that can't carry them go to the place, it's an assistant.
When them church they dig out back them money, they out of offering out of people, you see them build back quick. You stand there.
But government can assist. And it's not because them assisting the church why the people can't get house for living. The government just don't have the heart. They don't have the love for the people. No. They don't have that caring capacity.
Yeah. Well, make we do it quick, because I don't want to take all of the time. I notice now in the SSL matter. There's a woman who have my complexion. Them hold on to she, and she's not well. I am one of the person who know that woman is sick, right? I am one of the person who knows that she is a sick person. Because of her sickness, I have to go to her house. So I know, right? No, she couldn't get bail. I wonder if because she black.
Of course. No, it's not just because she's black. Because black men, they are black men with privilege in Jamaica. Remember a man getting killed in a black man house and the black man got jail neither.
That's true.
You know, no connection. It's connection she don't have.
Yes.
She lack the kind of connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I want black man who is a friend of the Prime Minister.
There's no connection, boss. A connection is not complexion. It's connection.
It's connection.
Tell her.
And that man, a man who is a friend of the Prime Minister, backs down a nurse man, pick her up, slam her up on the ground like she might be wrestling.
What happened to that,
step in her head.
What happened to that case, Marshall?
What happened to that case, sir?
We need to know. But I gone left here. Little more. Little more, Marshy.
All right.
Cool. Hello, good evening.
Yo.
Hold on, please.
Colin Trumpet. Wagwan.
Hold on, I know you made
Good night.
Hold on, the way next caller there. I apologize to the other caller. I just say that take you if we go to the next call. Yeah, man, Wagwan.
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Hold the line. Yes, sir. You were before the other caller. Go right ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, I like your station.
Thank you very much. Oh, this sound like Neville, sir.
Yeah, Neville in person.
Yeah, man, Neville are calling this man. Happy to have you on the platform this evening. Welcome.
Yeah, I just want to start the conversation by telling you that any central bank in the Western Hemisphere now,
yes,
that don't have gold or silver as part of their portfolio, their reserves, is a banking failure.
Does the Bank of Jamaica have gold and silver in their reserve?
No, they don't have that on their balance sheet, not even a ounce.
So that means you just call the Bank of Jamaica a failure?
Yes, a butter bank.
Tell her!
And all the paper that they're storing down there is being eaten up by inflation.
So why is it that they are telling business people not to do business, carry the money, come and then put it down and give them 6% interest?
Let me tell you, I don't give financial advice, you see. But they are preparing the ground for the cashless society to come.
Well, Richard Biles says we need to get there.
Thank you, sir.
He said it.
Yeah, and what the Bank of Jamaica is doing is contrary to the IMF policy.
Talk to me.
So they are doing their own thing. It's like they're working on an experiment with the Jamaican people and they're forcing you into credit. Forcing you to use credit cards and all of these.
And digital wallet.
And digital wallet. Because there's a debt. You see, since the hurricane blow over, bad debt is increasing in the county of Cornwall.
But you'd expect that.
Yes, because a lot of people are getting bankrupt. Bankruptcy has increased in the county of Cornwall, and it's going to spill over in the county of Surrey and the county of Middlesex. And where you have a high level of bankruptcy, you're going to have what is called social degradation. And that is what we must prevent as an African people. Because we have to use social cohesion to fight what they are doing. Because capitalism, Western capitalism, the BRICS going to kill Western capitalism. You know?
Well, the BRICS right now, the man them say US dollar is not the dollar no more.
No, and then what the Russians are doing on the battlefield, they are killing out any resistance that come across their path through NATO. And what the Chinese are doing is a serious war, and there are 3 rules to the war. Let me just tell you the 3 rules to the war for the people to understand.
And then you tell me which dollar is going to be the standard after this. Yes.
The rule of the war that you are in right now between the BRICS and NATO and America, compete or die. If you can't compete, you just go and die. You have to live within your means. And you have to think for yourself. Because it is a total reset going on.
Somebody in the chat room is asking what is wrong with our digital society.
Let me tell you what is wrong with a digital society. If you don't have a skill and you're not productive and you don't have a good social network, you can't compete in that digital society. Because you can't beg me anymore. The man on the corner, who is classified as the wasteful output gap all over the place, him not have nobody to beg no 2 bills again. When you go into the supermarket to do your shopping or any transaction, government going to know how much money you're spending.
Yes.
And who you're spending it for.
Yeah.
And they're going to ask you, Neville, why are you giving Colin Bell $20,000? And I have to type in on my phone and say, Mr. Bell gave me some good idea and I'm paying him. Yeah. And they're going to tax you at source.
Yes.
So the underground economy that is holding up the Jamaican economy, because about 60% of our economy is underground, you know.
Including most of the creative industry.
Thank you, sir. So that economy going to wipe out. And then with the financial illiteracy that is on the ground,
no,
most people going to get a crash landing.
No, that is one that is serious.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying to you, Colin. You see a man like Ralph Tanaiman.
Yeah, man, we're going to talk to him about little after 6. We're going to talk to him.
Ralph Tanaiman need to be in the Senate of Jamaica.
Or an advisor to the Minister of Finance.
Thank you, sir. We need to we as African people now, we are at the back of the food chain in the New World Order. We are in the last of the food chain. So we can't do things in a political way anymore. Because if you notice when the storm blow over, Hurricane Melissa, you're the government, we have to suspend the politics, put the politics aside. And we have to suspend the fiscal rule. That means those were 2 stumbling blocks in our way.
But have they suspended the politics?
No, sir. And we as a people, especially the African male, who will suffer the brunt of this. Because the women, they have their sexuality to fight back, you know.
Tell her! Tell her! So them not give up for them share.
No,
Never.
you mad? And they are, hey,
Never.
Colin,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say something on your program because it's social media.
Mhm.
The law of compound interest is what run the commercial world.
Yes.
That's what Mr. Biles them using to run commerce.
Yes.
The law of attraction is what run business.
Okay.
But you know the most powerful organism on the earth is what?
Talk to me. You tell us.
The female vagina.
Tell her! That run earth.
It's 4 things we work for. Food, and we don't have any food security.
Mhm.
Clothes, Chinaman make most of the clothes that we're wearing.
Yes.
Shelter,
Yes.
most Jamaican people don't have any shelter.
Especially down at the west, you know.
Yeah, and tender loving care.
Tell her! That is essential.
It is, thank you. And let me leave you with this. The average Jamaican female live 8 to 10 years after her spouse die. So these are females, them I forgot make them voice be heard on the ground. I make the government and the Bank of Jamaica know what time it is, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Because they can't, if the males ever try to do it, they're going to kill us off.
I hear you, Neville. Give thanks for the call, my brother.
To be continued.
To be continued. Blessings. One love. Neville Carter, big up yourself. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. New York, good evening, New York, New York. Hold on. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. With you.
Yeah, me I follow this thing with the SSL.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Edward about it in a little bit.
And then me realize the FID is headed by Dennis Chung. And Dennis Chung is a friend of the Prime Minister, including these people from the SSL. So
Are they friends of the Prime Minister? I never know that.
Well, when I see them in a picture all over social media,
Then
shaking,
hold on.
you know.
If you see me and Denise Williams in our picture, that means that she am a friend?
Well, I doubt if you're the Prime Minister in a picture.
Me can show you a picture of me and Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism. Does that mean he's my friend?
Well, Edmund Bartlett is a little different. Man, the kind of, you know. But the way me that said, the Prime Minister next. He was the next case that needs to come up, you know.
What case
like
need to come up about the Prime Minister?
Eh?
What case? The Prime Minister have a case?
It's here with integrity.
Oh, you mean?
I see.
Oh, you mean is statutory filing? Hold the line, hold the line for me, caller. Hold the line. 876-804-7072. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Bell.
Hold the line for me. I'll come back to you. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, because a lot of people never think this SSL case. A lot of people thought it had died.
And some people think it's a tactics going on here. It's a game they're playing with us.
Yeah, because if you observe, Usain Bolt was dragged and give a position in the Ministry of Tourism as an ambassador to kind of cool down, you know, the temperature.
Yes.
Where he has lost several funds.
You could say that. So, you could look at it that way. Yes.
Yeah. So, but this thing that is popping up now is like a bombshell. But at the same time, it could be something playing now to cover other areas. But on the other hand, regarding this Melissa funding, right? I think the Prime Minister is saving up a lot of these money for the next election.
Well, that, as I say, you think so. That is your opinion.
I think the fourth term money, Melissa, will be funded the fourth term.
I hear you.
So there's a lot of corruption going on, a whole heap of corruption going on under the quiet. But let's see where we're going to play out with the SSL. And if the SSL come out of it, then the Prime Minister next.
A lot of people don't believe it going anywhere, Carla.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Because who is headed? The FID is headed by somebody, a person who I will say is tainted. And they have a lot to play in this.
I think I said to Ralston them the other day, if they believe that cronyism and nepotism should become a crime in Jamaica. And a lot of people are of the opinion that it ought to be. But I'm looking for an article for you. An article that was sent to me where there's an argument going around that Nigel Clark came to Jamaica recently to warn the Prime Minister that some people extradition order was on the way, it was going to be coming. And the argument is that is why some people are now being charged so as to stay the extradition order. Because if you have a case here to answer to, you can't be extradited until that case is complete.
Right.
So a lot of people are of the opinion that it's a game. As I said, we're going to be talking to Ed Boy shortly. We're going to be talking to Ralston at about 6:15. Conrad O'Brien is going to be joining us somewhere about, because these are things, you see, that we need to talk about. It is really
what
wicked.
What about the FBI?
Well, we don't know if the FBI is involved.
Nigel, listen, FBI will be coming and him take with himself.
But you hear, I think it was Dr. Blake who was then the head of some task force. He wasn't commissioner yet. And he said in an interview that the FBI was not involved. And if the FBI is needed and when they are needed, then they would get involved. But at the time when they, I think, laid charges to this lady, they weren't involved. But what I was about to say, Carla, this wicked thing that this woman can't get bail. But the three top ranking people from the company walked up to the station, answered some questions, they were charged and sent back home. Why Miss Pantana for languishing out in a jail? She said Jamaica, she said the world no level.
Because them align with the same people in the FID. It's a circle.
Hey, thank you for the call here. Go and take one more call, then I'll go and call Ed Boy. Thank you. Yes, sir. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder where the Jamaica people am work for. Are the Prime Minister or is it Jamaican? Because I realize that every government entity look like them controlled by the Prime Minister so much that everybody afraid to talk. Everybody's afraid to call wrong is wrong and right is right. I mean including the security force then. You understand? The next thing is that I believe that come March next year, people still asleep out the door.
Let me tell you something. I did an interview with Miranda Wellington recently, and she told me that it was 2 weeks before the election, people were getting hurricane burial money. You hear? So
yes,
when I look at this thing and when the minister says the end of January, the assessment is going to be done. You see, people are bigging up Andrew Holness them for the downward trend in murder. And I say to people that I will big up Dr. Kevin Blake and the GCF. And if I go and big up Andrew Holness, I go and big up Peter Bunting equally. And you know why I say that? It was Peter Bunting who started that move to force the government away from the wanton use of states of emergency. And it's the same thing we are doing now, trying to force the government to start spending the money to help the people them. So the government now do nothing upon them own. You have to push them like a hand cart.
Yes, that's true.
To get this government to move, you have to push them, stone them, scream
persons
and kick
on
them.
the ground, you know.
Eh?
Persons that dep on the ground, persons that were dep on the ground.
Yeah.
You tell me, say, right now, the way how slow the government have moved towards this rebuilding space, you see? Until March, June next year, people still asleep out the door.
Brother, the man did not build one house yet. A lady, when it was I played that clip, was it Sunday? That this lady built 8 houses. So before Christmas, 8 family had somewhere to put their head. I'm going to see if I find this clip from this lady. Yeah. And the government to date has not built a house. What can go so? Hold on.
I'm Derek Wilkes. Members of the security force.
No, not that. I'm trying to find this clip.
Hold
on for me. Hold on.
Former Stocks and Securities.
No.
Spend Christmas in their own homes. Following the
here it is.
8 Westmoreland families spend Christmas in their own homes.
Hold on. No, if a lady can do this, why can't the government put people in houses?
8 Westmoreland families spend Christmas in their own homes following the intervention of Project Restoration. The 8 are of 10 families who've been targeted for assistance after their homes were destroyed following the passage of Hurricane Melissa in October. Project Restoration is a locally based not-for-profit initiative involving ISA construction aimed at rebuilding homes devastated by Hurricane Melissa. Ariane Williams of Project Restoration says she was inspired to act based on the devastation she witnessed when she went to the parish to distribute much-needed supplies. Ms. Williams says she has partnered with ISA Construction to rebuild the homes before the end of the year. She says that was a crib.
Hold on. It's 10 houses she had planned to build before the year done, you know. She done 8 before Christmas. So tell me why the government couldn't build 8,000.
After sir. All right, one next thing, my boss.
Yeah.
Me realize if I don't talk about the SSL thing we are going now, because nationwide hardly talk about it now.
No, man, but you wouldn't expect nationwide to be talking about that, brother. You have to understand.
And the mainstream media, them talk about it, but it look like them afraid, them scared to touch it. So if I know, thank God for now.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, man, thank God for now and keep up the good work.
Blessings and thanks for the call.
Yes,
all
man.
right, so let me try and hook up Ed Boy, you know. Let me hook up Ed Boy. You know, because Tom drunk, but Tom no fool, you know. And it's time that people start listening to credible information. Them say, so a man think it so easy. Me also tell you a long time that anything you hear the Prime Minister criticize PNP of, it is the exact thing that the Prime Minister is doing. Anytime you hear him come out and start lick out for something about PNP, look at the Prime Minister and you will see that he is the one who is doing these things. Our Prime Minister is not a normal brethren. No normal. Here? And when we check out everything that is happening, we have to stop a while and look. Because when the Prime Minister speaks about misleading information, and you listen to our Prime Minister speak, you listen to members of his administration speaks, and then you wonder, Is this man telling us about him and his team? And I say to you, yes, exactly so. Because how can you be talking about misleading information? And 2 months after Hurricane Melissa, everybody knows how many people have lost their jobs. And you are still running an advertisement telling the people of Jamaica and the world that unemployment in Jamaica is 3%. How you do that? How you do that? How you go to the media, the parliament, sorry, and tell the country that after Hurricane Melissa, the country's GDP remains at exactly what it was before the hurricane. What can go so? Eh? Isn't that misleading information? Don't understand why this. Isn't that misleading information? That's why I tell people that I have joined the war. I have joined the war with the Prime Minister as it relates to the war against misleading information. I am having some difficulties with the main line. Having some difficulties. I don't understand why. Let me try again because something is wrong here. One of the system that's supposed to allows me to make the calls is not coming up. So let me just check on getting this right. All right, so looks like we're back up. See, you have to know your system, them, you know. So when me I say to you, we are in a position where we are tricked up front in our face, not going around a corner, tricking you, brawling. The young people them would have call it. Brawling. The man them a trick we. Tell we some things that are not true. Brawling. Them now go come, people. Them now go come. You remember when I tell the Prime Minister tell you, say, don't listen to me and don't listen to no other media about feed media. Ed boy.
Oh, you the brother, you hearing me?
Yes, man. Me I hear you loud and clear now. I don't know why the system was behaving like it never want connect up.
No, I realized you were trying to reach me and then there was a delay in the system. So.
Yeah, man. So I had to reboot and reconnect and everything. But we have you online
but
now.
No, coming for them hard, you know.
Yeah?
They know, you remember Peter Tashton?
Which one?
You remember Peter? The one that's coming in hot.
Firing some.
Say
we coming in hot. Yes, man. Peter Tosh is one of my artists, a revolutionary, you know. Welcome to the Colin
so they know
Show,
we're coming,
Ed boy.
Yes, so they know we're coming for them. But you know, Colin, I want to big up Brother Neville. Whilst you were having the discussion with him, I mean, I could listen to Neville the whole day.
Yes, man. Yeah? The man sound like mystical more time, you know?
Yeah, the man is a reservoir of knowledge, man.
Yes.
The man, Brother Junior and, you know, Auntie Winnie.
Well, I still have not heard from Junior since the hurricane.
That's the thing, you know, I've been asking for Junior
still
from
no
the hurricane.
From
and if
Junior
anybody
yet.
here have some form of contact, but I really worrying about Junior. I haven't heard no word, no sound from him.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I understand that he maybe don't have electricity, but you know.
But him should have can connect, man.
Yeah, man. Even at some point.
Yeah.
Right, but in relation to this SSL matter, Colin, because you know
Yes.
there were some further developments when we
Yes.
last spoke on
And
Saturday.
hold on, let me just play this news clip here with the charges before we go any
Right, Colin.
further. Hold on.
Three former executives facing fraud charges in relation to the scandal hit investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, are to appear in court on January 26. They were charged following a ruling by the Director of Public Prosecutions. More in this report from Nakinsky Robinson. The three are former Director Hugh Croskery, former Montego Bay branch manager Sarah Meany, and ex-CEO Zachary Harding. They have each been charged with multiple counts of fraudulently inducing persons to invest money, failure to register company carrying on business in Jamaica, carrying out securities business without dealer's license, failure to apply to the Commission to be registered for securities issued, and breach of the Banking Services Act. Each has been offered station bail in the sum of $1 million and is to appear before the court on January 26, 2026. One of the attorneys representing Mr. Croskery, Peter Champagny, is urging the public not to rush to judgment. My client has consistently maintained his innocence and has always made himself available to all of the regulatory bodies that are involved in this matter. We should be cautious in rushing to judgment. The matter is going to be before the court, and we should allow the justice system to work and not rush to any judgment and seek to be given to wild speculation. Attorney representing Mr. Croskery, Peter Champagny. Mr. Croskery is also being represented by Samoy Campbell. On a Saturday, members of the Security Forces and the Financial Investigations Division conducted search and seizure operations at the homes of the three. The operation targeted 4 premises, 3 in St. Andrew and 1 in St. James, as part of the long-running probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at SSL. The fraud scandal first came to public attention in January 2023. Yesterday's operation marks the first major public law enforcement development in the SSL case in more than a year. Former SSL employee Jean Panton was charged with multiple offenses in February 2023. In December 2023, the FID submitted a case file to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, signaling the possibility of further charges. However, the DPP has since indicated that outstanding issues remain, which have affected the assessment of the file. Welgen Limited, a company owned by sports legend Usain Bolt, is among more than 200 affected clients of SSL. Nakinsky Robinson, Radio Jamaica News.
Let me
Thank you.
Thank the RGR Communications Group. That's where we got that from. We take our news clips like these, we take them from RGR Communications Group. And let me thank them for that. Ed Boy, so what say you?
You know, Colin, I have been saying this and I will continue to say it, right? That when I last heard the charges, what I looked at and I realized that what really need to happen is that the persons who have been fleeced of their resources in SSL, yeah, should in fact bring a RICO case. Yeah? And you know what a RICO case is?
Yeah, man.
Right. They should bring a RICO case against SSL and its former board and all the members.
But would you have to wait until they are found guilty of these charges?
No, they can in fact file a RICO case in the United States pending the outcome in Jamaica.
But filing that case would depend on the outcome, because if they are not found guilty, then what?
No, but there is sufficient, Colin, there is sufficient evidence to show that these people have what they did. Sufficient evidence exists to show that their actions are tantamount to criminality. For example.
Hold on, Edward. Saying that sufficient evidence exists is just an opinion at this point. Because if they are found innocent in a court of law, I don't think that RICO case will go anywhere. If they are found guilty, then you are on your way. It's not even a question.
No, you're correct.
It's not even a question of if you're going to get, is how much you're going to get if they have anything left anyway.
Exactly. But my issue though is, should we have not shouldn't the Jamaican government seek the assistance of the international community. And I believe the FID should have, and the FID is in the position to seek international help in this matter.
But
Yeah?
I
The
mentioned it
question,
earlier, Ed Boy, that
yeah.
when Dr. Blake, I don't remember his substantive position then, but he was integrally involved in the investigation of SSL.
Mhm.
And you'd remember, I think, when Ms. Panton was charged, he told the media that the FBI was not involved. And if we go further from to the beginning, Nigel Clark, Dr. Nigel Clark, former Minister of Finance, told us that he would get the FBI involved.
And that is so. But what we see is an issue that the FID have not asked for any international assistance.
And the point I'm trying to make is that they will not.
But then
That is
that will
also
then
my
tell us
opinion, though.
no, but then that will also if the FID refuses to ask for international assistance in a matter they think that they cannot um cannot effectively prosecute, then what would it would only enhance their effectiveness. You see what I'm saying?
But what if they are of
But
the
Colin,
opinion that they can do it? Because I think what Dr. Blake was saying back then was that they have the competence and the capacity to investigate and prosecute this case.
but I want to ask some questions this evening, and I
Yes.
think you might have some tala moments this evening.
Let's go.
Yes. The first question I want to ask is what is the now remember there was a board of SSL.
Hold on.
Yes.
Don't ask the first question yet. And I'll tell you why. Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4, the radio station which covers the largest area of Florida as any one radio station, should be joining us anytime now. Think in another couple of seconds. So I don't want them to miss out
Absolutely.
on
But Colin,
this
there was
question.
also another issue I wanted to raise, a side issue that is related to what Neville had said.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Neville is correct in saying that the Bank of Jamaica
Mhm.
needs to look critically at what we invest in, particularly what we back the dollar with, our dollar with.
Because
Yeah?
gold is at record prices now, So it's not never joking when him talk about gold and silver. But let me just
No,
take
but it's
time
not only
to.
that. Mhm.
Oh my God. That was me bad, because we came on and fell off of Caribbean radio, and I think that was my fault actually. I did not.
Wow.
Yeah, my fault, because it's an automatic system that you come on at your time. I did everything else but press play, and if you don't press play, you can't go on. So everything came up, the picture came up, but nothing else because I didn't press play. Let me just touch base with them. And
Right.
hold
Right.
on, Ed. Go ahead, Ed boy. Go ahead.
So I was just saying, once you locate them, that the 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 Bank of Jamaica now, and even the government, meaning the Ministry of Mining, yes, should now take a decision to look at the gold mine that we say we have now. So we should look at the gold mine, and then we should now proceed immediately to ensure none of that gold, or if it none of that gold leaves Jamaica, and you use it to back your currency.
But this gold mine that you're talking about, is it really going to be producing what some people is talking about?
Colin Shakabel, let me tell you, I know the area of the gold mine very well. Yes, it's an area that is called, and I don't really want. It is between Bellas Gate, yes,
Yeah.
up in that area of West Rural West Rural St. Catherine.
Mhm.
Yes, and that would be in the seat of Christopher Tufton,
Oh,
and
tough
it would
man.
the tough and it would borderline Nesta Morgan on the Rock River side.
Yes.
Yeah, and it is interesting that in between that vicinity, you would have Portia Simpson Miller coming from that area and Bruce Golding.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's a vast amount of and not just only that they have discovered gold there, they have discovered copper. And so there's
Yes.
a Canadian company, I
But
think CC Metals they're
what
called.
volume we're talking about? Is that a real volume that
No man, let me tell you something. You see the company that calls the Canadian company, Barrick Gold.
yeah.
Yeah, Barrick Gold don't go into any country unless I think they have more than a certain thousand of ounces. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or certain tons of. They don't do nothing under a certain amount. I need to double check the number. Yeah, because I don't want to misquote, but I know Barrick Gold. They're not going to come in unless it is viable. Yeah, so let's put it at that way.
All right. Let's go back to SSL.
So
So you are
no,
confident that there is enough gold. And what about that confidence about enough oil? I am confident about
I'm,
the oil, you know.
I'm confident about the oil and the copper as well, and I'm confident that there's also rare earth minerals.
Yeah, well,
But
somebody in the chat room is mentioning rare earth minerals as well.
yeah, because there was a test that was done, and let me tell you, Philip Paul is one of the politicians in the PNP that don't oftentimes get the flowers that he deserves. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been demonized and and been treated away in sometimes where it's really unfair to him because I remember when he launched that program at Hope Gardens, yeah, with the Japanese company, and the new incoming government didn't continue it, and that was a very bad decision. But let us look now at SSL.
Yes.
The
Yes.
the issue I have, Colin, is in relation to the former board. Yeah,
Yes, the form. All right, so
because
hold on. So we're talking to Ed Boy. Welcome to the people at Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4. Let me apologize for coming on late. That was all my fault. You know, when you just never press a button, it's very important to press the buttons, when you're supposed to press them. So let me just apologize to the listeners on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4, Bro G Radio. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. We're coming to you live from Port Antonio, Jamaica. Yes, from the studios of Portland Spice TV. Welcome, everybody. We are talking to Ed Boy, and we're talking about SSL. 3 persons were arrested and charged over the weekend for their role in the SSL saga. For those of you who remember, Usain Bolt lost over 12 million US dollars in that SSL saga where SSL crashed, and a lady called Jean Panton was arrested and charged as the only person to be charged. But 2 years on, we are seeing now charges laid against 3 persons. Hugh Croskery, his daughter, Sarah, and Zachary Harding, who are all top executive of the company. We're talking to Ed Boy on the matter. Ed Boy have some questions for the government of Jamaica because they are basically the ones who are ultimately the overseers of the FSC and the Bank of Jamaica. Go ahead, Ed Boy.
right. So and I'm going to make sure my signal is very good for this one,
Yes.
Colin. Because I don't want anyone to miss this one. And tell your friend and tell your neighbor to come closer. Yeah.
Yes. Call some
Now,
people. This one crowd.
now, Colin, when you look at SSL, and you have to go back and trace SSL history to really understand that SSL has been really a social labor right entity.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to give regard to Brother Marshy because it's Brother Marshy word. So we're not go just use a man word and not give him credit.
Yes. Yes.
So when you look at it, remember how SSL came about with Paul Chen Young and yada yada yada. We know all of the history.
Coming from deep in the late 80s, early 90s.
But there was something that many persons forgot and are seemingly not remembering that when SSL was formed, Colin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that previously the Eagle Merchant and Paul Chen Young and all of them, when we have the financial sector meltdown,
Mm-hmm.
and FinSac had to come in to deal with the financial sector at the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? That there was that FinSac was set up as an entity.
Yes.
There was a man
To
called
rescue.
Brent Berlino. You remember that name?
Yes.
Right? He was brought in at the time to clean up the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, because his mission really, and I'm not accusing Mr. Colin about anything, I'm just saying he was brought in to clean up the mess that these guys had created. But while cleaning up the mess, properties were safely transferred to some.
So you're saying that some people got back them property
in a different way, and I'll show you
under
how.
the cover?
In order for Paul Chen Young and associates with the Eagle Merchant Bank and this one, all of those companies that collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that under FinSA, quite so, anybody that is doing an adjustment or you're doing a seizure of asset, really what you want to do is you want to see what much you can recover. Yes, how much you can recover. So if you can recover, if the asset is $10 and you can recover 5, you don't care. You just want to recover something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you're putting
really
all of that together to pay back people who had their money lost
exactly.
in there.
So really, that was the idea. So as I'm saying, I'm not accusing the gentleman of any nefarious activities. However, the end result of that, though, there were some creative geniuses, some Henry Morgans who slipped through the cracks.
Who get some something for little and nothing.
Get some something for little and nothing under the guise of different individuals.
Yes.
So this is how the Ukraski and the merry bands of thieves came about now. Because they had to find somebody to hold those entities,
yes,
those properties for them, because
claiming
they could no longer hold anything.
Claiming say them buy it, me I buy this, but I not really for me I feed somebody else.
It's for somebody else. So remember now, these guys had mastered using the BVI as trust places and other places. They had mastered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They knew how to incorporate entities, lock them up in a trust. Yeah. And seal them in things that you would never know that these companies existed.
Mm-hmm.
so out of FinTech created, the same people who destroyed the economy ended up getting back
some of the assets
from some of the assets of the system that was not meant for them. And I want people to understand, I'm not blaming anybody.
But let's not go too far back now, Ed Boy. Some of the questions you say,
but I'm making the connection now, Colin.
Yes.
Let's make the connection now, quickly. Remember now what happened. So you had the board at the time of SSL in 2023 was Jeffrey Cobham. You remember that name?
Yes, I remember that name as well.
He resigned from the board.
Mm-hmm.
Christine Birch,
mm-hmm.
Brent, I can't pronounce the Italian name, Brent Cicerlino, yeah? Mm-hmm. John Jackson, right? We're all former board members. Now, why am I raising
of Eagle Merchant Bank?
No, of SSL.
Of SSL, right.
Yes. And they resigned in 2022. Now, why am I raising the question?
Yes.
If these members of the board who, by virtue, did not, because under the Securities Act, you have to have a board. Under the Banking Act, you have to have a board. Yeah? They were the ones who were responsible for not necessarily the day-to-day operation, but the overall the direction of the company.
Yeah.
Why are they not being questioned about what happened there?
The board members.
Yes, they should be questioned.
Somebody, hold on, Edward. Somebody in the chat room is saying, Colin, just Google Paul Chen Young versus the government of Jamaica. If you read the case, over 14 properties were transferred to SSL.
SSL, yes. It was the vehicle. Colin, we don't, you know, we don't do tabloid, my friend.
No tabloids around here.
We do our research. So this was SSL was the vehicle to take back from the same economy these labor rights in Jamaica destroyed.
Hold on, head boy, because somebody is saying then they always then the person said then they always are blaming the PNP about FinSac.
But they
Hold
created
on,
it.
which is the antidote, not the problem. But Carla, let me tell you what happened. This Jamaica Labour Party government spent $130 million to do what was called a FinSac inquiry.
Yes.
But to date, this GLP administration refuses to release the FinSac report.
But hold on, Colin, no, say it better than this. My friend, Manayard, right? My good friend Manayard, who I wanted to have at one point, I believe would have been a good leader over that side if he were to have been given a chance. Quite frankly, I like Audley. Yeah. Audley, make nice, publish the report. And what happened? When he went there, gave them the money to complete it. Boyd Carey dead. Almost all of the commissioners have died. But the report to this day has not been published. Nigel Clark started, but he was going to send out tidbits of the report. Yeah? And to this day, them can't tell us no tidbits. But we know why them...
Putting it in an archive for university students to study. That is but Nigel. We need a report. Is the report we need that report that was submitted?
Is to show you how they damage the economy. That university students of economics and business management and developmental studies will now have to go look at it and see what mistakes you must never make.
But some of what is put there is also redacted, so the whole story is not there.
And that is true. And so therefore you don't get the fundamental sense of what it was saying. But you know, Colin, what I want to look at as I go in relation to this SSL matter is the securities issue. So this board that I'm saying should be held responsible.
Yes.
How could you preside over a board that did not have a securities license but produced to Usain Bolt? And I'm let me tell you, I am no big fan of Usain Bolt. I respect the man as an icon, but I feel bad to say what happened to him. But Asaf has always been my runner. Yeah?
Right.
But Usain Bolt, how could you give the man a report saying him have Amazon stocks, Apple stocks, valuing this, valuing that, but you were not able to trade securities?
You see, it's a lot of questions, Ed boy.
No, but Colin, I want that to sink into people, So why were you producing a report to him showing that his stocks had grown by this amount, he had amassed this amount as a result of the stocks, and you did not invest in any? So how could they produce this? And this is why I'm saying that this case should not be tried in Jamaica. In fact, if I were the FID, I would walk back the charges and let them go face securities fraud in the US.
But you're sure about that extradition papers, Ed boy, that they are indeed extradition papers for these people?
Let me tell you, there is the SEC. The SEC in 2024 went after over $18 billion. Yes, $18 billion that was defrauded from people across the world.
But why is there no fraud? Why none of them has charged for fraud? The news speak to fraud charges, but when you listen to the charges, nobody has been charged for fraud.
No, because let me tell you what they have done. The FID has picked the lowest end of the continuum in terms of charges that they could prefer against them. For example, we went through that last Saturday, Colin, so we're not even going to waste the time on it, yeah? But in terms of the charges that could come from the Banking Act, Section 42 to 44, there's not much charges that you could get. Maybe you pay this penalty, you get 3 months for not paying this, 6 months for not doing that at a certain capital amount.
But Ed boy, if you are trading in securities and you have no license to and you never did, isn't that a fraud charge by itself? Why nobody was charged for fraudulent conversion or fraud by itself?
They should be charged under the You remember the fraudulent conversion we call lottery scamming?
Yeah.
They should be charged for that. Under that charge.
The next question though, Ed Boy, is
They
that
should
they
be charged.
got
Because
bail.
that is
How could they get bail while Gene and Pantan could not get bail? What's the difference here?
No, and I'll tell you what's the difference. Right? I'll tell you what's the difference. And your good friend Marshy said it earlier on. Yeah? But you went to it. You alluded to it. It is connection and not necessarily complexion. Yeah? It is connection.
So you are
remember, it is alleged that Hugh Crosby and these guys called the Prime Minister, Prince Andrew. Yeah? It is alleged. Now, not only that, it is not alleged. We know for a fact that Zachary Harding was in fact an advisor to the Prime Minister.
Well, that is a known fact.
No, so how could you have an individual like this, who is your friend, you are the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and he's a known freaking scammer? Let's put it straight up. Yes?
But you don't know that, Ed Boy. He's just charged for a crime now. If he's found
Colin,
guilty, then you could say that.
Colin, I think I'm not going to be politically correct. We know based upon what Usain Bolt has said, and Usain Bolt attorney has no reason to lie. They cannot find $12 million that belong to him. And SSL had to wind down. We saw that the report that said they could not account for where the monies went. And those are just basic reports. We don't need any case to determine what happened there. It's the same like Alan Stanford. You don't need any case to determine what happened with Alan Stanford.
Why were these people not charged in the first place? And Gene and Pantan, who was a client advisor?
A client relationship manager, which means she just like one bank teller, but it's because it's on the private side, they call her client relationship manager.
So she wasn't really angling much out of money of such, was she?
She was not doing anything at all, quite frankly. She was not who should have been charged, and I'm saying it now with no water in my mouth. It was her manager. Yes, because her manager had an override. Remember, when you are a client relationship manager, you can't do much except you update clients' accounts, give them their statements. If they're sending in deposits or they want to send out something in logic with the wire department, there's not much you can do.
So Gene and Pantan then was the one who was telling Usain Bolt that man, your money good and it did so and whatever.
Because
she was that person
the that they kept on giving her. She could only and this is why it is wrong. Because even in the agreement that you sign, most persons sign to become a client relationship manager. It is their managers, meaning the actual managers, that have the override. So when you even you're making a commissions being a client relationship manager, if you make 50,000 in commissions, they know that you're a manager of at least 10,000 outside.
So
it is the manager who has the responsibility.
Who was Gene and Pantan's manager?
Gene and Pantan's manager is a known labourite too, a young labourite.
They call the name, no? Name. People want to know the name. Who was Gene and Pantan's manager?
Strachan.
Strachan what? Strachan what?
No, Ryan Strachan.
So who was Gene and Pantan's boyfriend?
I don't know.
Remember, this is not new, head boy. No, I'm just asking some of the questions, people, because this is a tangled web that they weave when they try to deceive. Yeah? And it's not just Usain Bolt's money. It's over 200 persons who have lost their money in this SSL saga.
And they did, imagine, for example, if you are not invested in stocks, but let's say you're just had your money sitting down there, where you're maybe investing in just basic government papers, maybe treasury bonds, maybe you're doing some 90 days, 180, 360, some government papers, some CDs, certificates of deposits, and so. Now, you get a report that, your portfolio has grown and you have amassed this amount.
Yes.
How were they able to provide certificates of deposits to investors?
And they didn't have a license. But Ed Boy, the other question that we must ask, What
No,
did
man. No, Colin, 1 second. I think people need to understand that this fraud, this alleged fraud, or this purported fraud, because we don't know, as you say, we don't know what the outcome will be. Yes, but this purported fraud is bigger than we think. This has this not just has, it has undermined the financial industry of Jamaica, and it points to a larger issue of our management of our banks and the regulations surrounding financial institutions.
And
Colin, right now there are people in Jamaica who can't get, for example, you have had banks in Jamaica, and I'm telling you, because I am one in a particular bank, Colin, in Jamaica, because just now I'm going to start to talk. Yeah? That for months, funds have been sitting for people. That you keep on, you have your proof that the monies are sitting there from the sending institution, that the sending institution gave them MT-103 to confirm that the wire was sent.
Yeah.
But to this day in Jamaica, there are persons who still can't get their money. The institution tell them not come there.
Not come there yet.
But when you do a trace, because these people are stupid, it is sitting at the institutions, maybe correspondent bank account somewhere else.
Getting a little interest before it come to you?
Exactly.
Head boy.
That's why you see some people, that's why you see some people now who are on the banking side of life are drawing closer to certain people. I didn't call nobody name.
Bam. Head boy, but before we wind up this discussion, because I'm going to talk to Ralston in another 6 minutes. When we look back at this whole thing when SSL break out, Dr. Nigel Clark, back to even 2012, the FSC indicated to then Minister of Finance, Dr. Peter Phillips, that there were issues with SSL. A ban was put on SSL not to take any more new business.
But just to manage what they have with,
right.
with strict guidance from the FSC.
That ban was lifted when who was Minister of Finance? Audley Shaw? Or was it Nigel who that ban was lifted?
No, Audley became minister, in fairness to him, in 2016.
Right.
It did not last its term beyond 2016.
Yeah, but what year was the ban lifted? Under who? Was it Nigel?
It was lifted in 2017. It was lifted by Audley.
By Audley, right. What did SSL show to get that ban lifted?
Nothing they showed, but you stop it right there.
Was connection?
If you stop it, there is a connection. There is a connection because you know what? Leave it alone, Colin. We'll leave it alone.
No, I'm not leave it alone, there, sir.
Yes,
because if SSL was flagged and the ban placed on them, and then the ban was lifted, whoever lifted the ban have questions to answer now to as what was shown to you, what new proof came to show that they were operating better now and that the ban was lifted. Because also remember that the head of the FSC also flagged them again and said that he sent a letter to the Minister of Finance, which the Minister of Finance said no. Then the Minister of Finance said to his staff to search for the letter. They did not find any, but the minister, hold on, the minister went in his office and found the letter in his drawer. So, is it then that with all of this cropping up now, all these people will have to be questioned, including Nigel Clark?
I am of the. Let me tell you something. One second, Colin. You're going along the right road, but I am saying ultimately, cabinet, as you know, and I will never mislead anybody, right? We need to understand: was this a cabinet decision to allow? Quite frankly, cabinet now have nothing to do with it. So it would be the Minister of Finance. Yeah, just hear me out a little bit.
But maybe the minister took it to cabinet.
That is my question. And that is ultimately, did Audley take it to cabinet? And if he did, no, this would be conflicting. Did the Prime Minister remove himself as an investor in SSL?
No, hold on now, head boy. Tell us he come up here now. He come up now, you know. Because people have been asking, listeners and viewers on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4. This is a company, an investment company that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, had money in there. And before SSL crash, the Prime Minister took out his money. So here it is, a critical question. Did Audley Shaw take the SSL issue to cabinet before the ban was lifted? And also remember, I think it was in 2016, when Peter Phillips was talking about a certain house, there was a saying that money was borrowed from where?
From SSL.
Hello.
But he was privy, Peter Phillips was privy as the Minister of Finance to the report.
Tala.
Let me tell you something. I want to pause. And honor and regard to Dr. Peter Phillips, David Phillips, who's a man of integrity. Leaders of integrity must be respected. Yes, he took the right decision then, and it is the decision. Now, Colin, as we refer to Andrew now, Prime Minister Holness, I want to ask the other question. If Prime Minister Holness did he recuse himself from the cabinet if Minister Shaw carried the matter to the cabinet? And if he did.
But could he, as the chairman of cabinet, could he recuse himself? And then
yes, he could.
Hold on, because there's a thing in cabinet called collective responsibility. So say one, so say all.
Yeah, but how long can you probe a cabinet decision? You have 30. Remember, they raise the time before you can see the outcome of what maybe the files are not happening in cabinet.
Ed boy, if you have any more questions, ask it now.
One more, and this is my final one to him.
Yes.
So if you recuse yourself or did not recuse yourself, the other question is, and whose advice did you remove your funds from SSL? And whose advice?
So my question to you then, within all of this saga and trial about SSL, should the Prime Minister be called as a witness?
As a witness, I am saying he's a suspect. I don't leave you.
He's a what?
I said the man is a suspect.
Ed boy, what you just say?
I said the man is a suspect.
Which man?
He has been a
Which man?
The man. I never called him.
Tell her which man a suspect. Tell her.
Such man.
Which man a suspect, Ed boy?
Such man.
Jackass said the world no label. But a lot of people don't know that there's a next line to that saying, you know. You know the next line to that saying, Ed boy?
No, as a countryman, I shame.
No, man, you must know the next side to that argument. Jackass said the world no label. But Hag say ma go dig it down.
Yes, and say ma go dig it down for true.
Hag, not hands, Hag. Hag say ma go dig it down, Hag.
Hands.
Not hands. Hag. Grunt, piggy wiggy. Ed boy later.
Colin, as I go, my final point.
Yes.
We need to, as a people, seriously look at the financial system. If we have to have some file a class action against some of the financial institutions in Jamaica.
Yes.
We cannot have these mafias in banks continue this way, because nobody else operate like these guys across the region.
Ed boy, one thing people need to also know, you hear me talk about the culture and the creative industry. It's an industry that can bring wealth. The financial industry is a major earner of foreign exchange too. But we're joking with it in Jamaica. But Ed boy.
Absolutely. And as they go on the culture, you see now that the place mash up, there's only one thing can restore it. Is the creative industry. Dance for days. Yeah?
The culture and the creative industry can do what Jamaica can do for Jamaica what needs to be done. But
absolutely.
But like we have said, them should have called in Ralston man. And make Ralston an advisor to the minister. Them now listen to that. Because they are playing politics and not governance. Thanks, Ed boy. We talk.
All the best, bro.
Yeah, man. They're playing politics. They're not doing governance. And therefore, this Andrew Holness-led administration does not possess the capacity to do the things that they need to do to grow the economy. Here's a man who understands the economy more than anybody at the Ministry of Finance, including the minister. Ralston Hyman, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening to your listeners. Yeah, man.
Wagwan, my brother. This evening we are on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4, covering the widest cross-section as any one station covering Florida. Yeah, man, we're from Miami straight up to oh Lord, I always forget the name. But we're covering West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie. Go all the way up at them place, the man. Anyway, Ralston, what is happening in the financial sector today in Jamaica?
Well, the BOJ is going to mop up 29.5 billion tomorrow.
29.5 billion tomorrow. And I guess that will end the year. So what is it that we're going to end at? How much? 160 billion that?
No, because what am I doing? They might replace somewhere mature. So we'll end up at like $140 billion. 135, 140.
$140 billion mapped up by the Bank of Jamaica for the year 2025. Ralston, I said something to my viewers earlier this evening. And I want you to tell me if I'm right, because I don't want to mislead nobody. And I am your student. So, me not take your praise and go like me a teacher around here. But this is what I told the people. When the government is mapping up liquidity, they are telling business people that, listen, don't bother go buy no machine to expand your business. Don't bother develop no new business. Carry the money come, we put it down and give you 6% on it. Is that a fact?
That's correct. And that is why most of the time the issues are oversubscribed, because you are getting money and easy money.
So instead of a man going a farming and go set up a big farm, a man set up a huge chicken business, or a man buy some more machinery for manufacturing business, him just carry the money go give the government.
That is why the Prime Minister and the governor and the members of his party use that as a whipping cream for Omar Davies, because himself only under Omar Davies in Trinidad.
So Omar Davies used to do this very same thing, map up liquidity.
Yep.
And we heard Prime Minister Andrew Holness coming out against it in a very big way. And now we see Andrew Holness doing the exact thing.
Yeah, man. The hypocrisy of it, yeah, man.
So I said to people earlier, anytime you hear the Prime Minister leak out against nothing from PNP, look at him. It is on him.
Yep.
So we're mapping up that amount. Hold on, caller. And where is the US dollar and all of that now? We're ending 2025. Where we ending?
160, 159.83.
$159.83 for one US. That's where we're ending. And our job, our unemployment is where? 3%, the government says.
No. Unemployment is about 20%. After it was 3% before Melissa.
Yes.
After Melissa, it's about 20%.
But why is
them still run the other and say it's 20%.
So why is the government refusing to change any number after Melissa?
That's the point I'm making. Propaganda.
Before Melissa, our GDP was 20 billion US dollars. That's what the Jamaican productive sector was valued at, my people. 20 billion US dollars. Hurricane Melissa come, and about 3-4 weeks after, 5 weeks before the minister spoke, the Prime Minister was on his feet in the Parliament, and she told him that GDP was $20 billion. Why are they doing that?
I'm saying, in relation to that now, GDP only measures the economic production. It doesn't measure the infrastructure losses, because GDP only deal with what happen in a particular year. The infrastructure that was lost was built up over the years, so then they check that. to get the proper figure now, you'd have to take what you call a balance sheet approach to the problem. Yep. We look at all of the assets that have been destroyed and all of those things.
But
Them not do that.
Ralston,
Them only look at the production flow.
but even if you look at the production flow alone, Ralston, it couldn't be $20 billion.
Well, they're saying that they're going to end up with it down by about 6% at the end of the fiscal year. So it'll end up at 19 billion and change using that calculation. So I make the distinction so that them will go out and say, boy, we're spread propaganda. I want the public to understand the differences in the relationship. GDP measures the total value of all production over a particular period, a quarter or a year.
Yes.
While the assets that were built up, that were destroyed, were built up over decades.
Okay.
Yeah. So one is flow and one is stock. So one is wealth and one is production. So a proper analysis would mean that if you check the wealth, we are much, much poorer.
Yes.
Than before Melissa. Yeah, man.
But the government is not telling the people that.
No, man, I don't know why you know that. Them still tell us poverty at 8% and unemployment at 3.3% using taxpayers' money for run the ad to mislead the public.
We're talking to Ralston Hyman, Jamaica's #1 financial analyst, barring none. He's also a talk show host on Power 106, and he's on every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, from 9 to 11 a.m. for real business. So Ralston was also a member of the EPOC, organization set up to oversee Jamaica's economy management after the Jamaica Labour Party administration led by Bruce Golding in 2011 crashed the Jamaican economy and got expelled from the multilaterals. The IMF expelled us, nobody else would talk to us. Ralston Hyman joined that team in 2012, Ralston?
Yeah.
2012, alongside Peter Phillips and Portia Simpson Miller to guide Jamaica out of that precipice that we were put in by the GLP administration.
Governor of the Bank of Jamaica was also a part of the team. Keith Duncan, who is now a JLP senator, was a part of the team. Chris Zaka, William Mafood, Donovan Wignall, Norman Grant,
was a part of the team that oversaw the recovery.
Yeah, Ellen Davis White, yeah, man. That saved Jamaica.
Yes, that recovery that saved Jamaica. We have a caller holding. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Colin.
Go ahead, man. We are here.
Yeah, man. This question I didn't want to ask it while Ed Boy was on. But I still going to ask it. I may ask you, I don't ask Ralston. But if Ralston no one can answer the question. But a man open an account at NCB with $0. And I think by the next day or 2 days after $100,000 going at that account, where that $100,000 come from?
That came from SSL. All right.
Megan, good.
Yeah. Ralston, the SSL thing won't go away, even though sometimes I try to sidestep it, but it is not going away. Now, going into the new year, Ralston Hyman, with the government mopping up liquidity the way they are, do you see them doing the same in the first and the second quarter of 2026?
All right. So here's the thing now. The governor of the Bank of Jamaica, part of the IMF agreement that we had was that the Bank of Jamaica main mandate would be to focus on the containment of inflation, right? The governor of the Bank of Jamaica is saying the longer the government takes to start the recovery process, the more pressure he'll be under in order to contain inflation. Here's why. Agriculture contributes the most to the inflation rate. Food, because people eat food every day. So food and drink account for 35% of the weight in the inflation basket. So as long as food production is down and people have to compete for buy tomato, say $200 for one tomato, pepper for $5 a pound and all of those things, inflation is going to accelerate. So until the government of Jamaica start the recovery process, then he'll be under pressure to contain inflation. So that mopping up exercise will continue until the government gets the recovery on the road, particularly in relation to the agricultural sector.
So if we don't start invest heavily, private sector investment, isn't that going to be a key part of the recovery?
Yeah, but the government have to kickstart the thing. So the government, as well said, the government have to start fix about the house, them, fix about the road, them, fix about the bridge, them, fix about the river, them. And that will give the private sector the multiplier effect that they need to start. The government must lead. So the private sector look at the government to lead the process. Because that's the government's responsibility.
Raleigh, you know what the Almighty showed me this morning? We are saying that the government must be applauded for the decline in murders. And what he showed me was that if you are going to give the government any applause, you have to applaud Peter Bunting equally. Because what he showed me was that what you are doing now, Colin, what you, Ralston, OB, people like Simon, what you are all doing now is forcing the government to kickstart the economy. The government is not willing. What Peter Phillips and the PNP did back then was force the government to move away from the wanton use of states of emergency to a different kind of policing. So
more focus on intelligence driven.
So the government by themselves was not really the ones who get to change course. And that's what this is what he said to me now. Like you and Ralston and OB, them why we wanna do now, what we wanna need to do is to force the government to start spending the money. The 115 billion, where them should have spent at least $50 billion should have spent out it already, getting us up to Christmas. Start giving people hope. Start showing people the light again, that people can start dreaming again. The government.
Go ahead, no need for the excessive mopping up exercises. That's correct, because money will be spent in the economy and production will be back up, because the theory that the governor is working off of is that you can't have the same amount of money chasing low levels of production, because prior to Melissa, we had a certain level of output and a certain money supply. Now the output has been significantly cut, so you must say you have to cut the money supply too in order to keep
because what the government should have done was say to them people that even the last 18 billion. Go use that bill house down a west and me pay you back.
Well, the master builders, them could have built about 30,000 houses already. You know?
Of course. Ralston, remember say remember about 3 weeks after the hurricane, we say, yo, get to work. Bring in all of the builders them. And start build house for the people and build them for government land.
In case people think you are being political, the man them all put out public statements from all of the engineers, the master builders, the way the man them really wanted to start the process and wanted the man them to contact them. The man them was begging them to contact them. And we have heard anything.
The government has dropped the ball.
Richard Mullins, all of those people. Yeah, of course they dropped the ball.
We had Dr. Burgess here on this program explaining to us that we can build these houses quick and fast. But really, as a man, me build 4 houses in my life already, you know.
Yeah, man.
So me know want a guy come tell me say me an engineer.
Yeah, man.
Me start a house rally in November of 2020 and live in it February 2021.
Yeah, man. So they have the money, that's not a problem, man. Them man, they have the machinery and the technology to do that.
Once you have the money, and that's why me I say, when I clown like Marlon Morgan, I go tell me, say, easier said than done. When I said to him that the Minister of Labour should employ 2,000 to 3,000 people to get the assessment done in 7 days. Mass labor. The same thing that JPS is doing to get back light. The government should have taken an example.
Well, we just got a release from the Minister of Labour that he'll be employing another 600 persons.
But him still late.
Yeah, I know, but just I tell you, say it is possible because they just tell us that they're going to employ another 600 persons.
But you see, Raleigh, that's why we tell people that on this channel, yeah, we discuss ideas.
Yeah, man.
And we tell the minister this long time. You have money, and the only time it is a problem, Raleigh, is when you don't have the money.
When you don't have the money, yeah, man. Yeah, man, them could have built 30,000 houses already, and you have the multiplier effect. Man, I get to the shop them up and running again. The farmer them start doing them I do again. The farmer I said to the corner shop them start work again. Yeah, the mason them I work, the carpenter them I work, the truck them I work, more gasoline I buy, all of them today.
Let me take a call because you know what, hold on, caller, you know what is bad about that Raleigh? The government have the money, could have do it. Man. Go ahead, caller.
But Colin, thank God, greetings to everybody that I get through. And Uncle Ralston is on.
Yes.
Because you realize that they do not know what method or methodology to use, Uncle Ayman, because if you think about it, they just don't have the know-how. And the one thing that they don't have in their cabinet is someone willing like you and Colin, and that to put on their ego, their pride, and accept advice. Because no, we see the lenders are telling them these are the methodologies that they have to use, the methods, which is the IFRS guidelines and the GAP principles. They don't know. They don't have an accountant in there, Colin. They don't have those people who knows the principles and the guidelines to implement using the money, using all these advice that you're giving them. For example, housing, which is an asset, which is infrastructure. All you guys have been telling them, just the men them out there is ready to go to work. You know how much that is, how much things that you have mobilized right there, kickstarting the economy. But is it that they don't have the know-how, the courage, or the person to say, listen, let's go, or their pride? Let's be fair. Let's be honest.
Let me tell you.
These guys are not about anything, Ayman. So, brother, Uncle Ayman, tell us again that it's not rocket science. It is right there on the table. They have the money. They have the advice. Who in there can step forward and do the job?
Yeah,
do we have to get you to go out there to do it, Uncle?
Hold on,
do
caller,
we have to get you to go out on the street?
Hold on, caller. Go ahead, Raleigh.
The Prime Minister wants to take everything into his office, and he doesn't have the capacity to deal with these things. That's the bottom line. The office of the Prime Minister is a bottleneck in the country because he wants to take everything in his office and he doesn't have the technical and competence to deal with all of these things.
Let me say good evening to Louise. Let me say good evening to Real Montego Bay, Nikki Boo, Sister Tanya, Babette, all the people over there at Caribbean Radio. Good evening to you. Let me tell you this. Governance is big man business.
Yeah, man.
Yeah? Governance is big man business. Politics, anybody can play politics.
Boy, we have in the den. I want hurry come up, boy, we have in the den.
No, but
I want little gimme car, we have in the den.
Hold on, caller.
Or somebody when I no wait.
Hold on.
We need
caller.
any more language to talk about this, man?
Caller, hold on. Let me show you something. And to the listeners and viewers. Even God showed the man them, you know. So you don't need help. God showed them in the parliament in a rally. When they came to suspend the fiscal orders, the fiscal rules, they came with the date wrong. Mark Golding stood up in the parliament and taught them about that fiscal rule and said, listen, I mean set up this, you know. So me know it, your date wrong. And they could even look at that and say, yo, watch here in the public. We get a little show say, you know, we need all hands on deck for this. And even then, they have not moved. I heard some people, I think I was listening to Dr. Gale to the Ralston, and somebody was saying to Dr. Gale that the government invited the PNP to be a part of the recovery, and the PNP said no. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And labor rights are out there saying that because the PNP said no to the Joint Select Committee of Parliament. They are using that to say the PNP said no to be a part of it. Rubbish.
Not true.
That's rubbish. The PNP early on called for a broad-based oversight committee, including NGO, civil society, the church, the two political parties, private sector to be a part, just like the epoch you heard we list out earlier. Right? Non-political thing to oversee the whole thing and assist with the recovery. Today, the government has not moved on that. In fact, they offered that joint select committee, which the opposition leader declined to, because the opposition leader said a joint select committee would only consist of politicians, people who are in the parliament. No private sector, no NGO, no church couldn't be a part of that. The prime minister has also announced NARA. To date, how many weeks now, Ralston? More than a month.
Almost a month, and nobody has
not one person has been named to the NARA. So it is not about governance. It's one side playing politics in this, because only one side can play politics, The opposition can't play no politics. Opposition and no power, So no stop no crap,
There's no politics there.
Only one side can play politics, and it's the government. No other side can play no politics. It is only the government can call the opposition to the table. The opposition can invite themselves to the table. It is only the government that have the table. The opposition now have no table. So it's
not in the interest of the Jamaican people. It's not about the Jamaican people. So that's why the lenders are holding back. And I agree with Head Boy. We need to let the lenders know, hold on. Don't send no more money because they have money there.
I don't know if
make we see what they can do first.
I don't know.
And Brother Ayman, Uncle Ayman, seriously, maybe we have to beg you, whatever you can do to go out there to start it. Because our people, we are gonna be way back in another 19. Then talking about the Monroe whatever theory they're using now. We going back, way back.
Yeah, man, Monroe doctrine, yeah.
All right, caller.
Honestly,
thanks.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Blessings.
All right, bye-bye, moment.
You're listening to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4, Brogary Radio, and Alexa. And we're coming to you live from the studios of Portland Spice TV, right here at Port Antonio, Jamaica. We're talking to Ralston Ayman, the ES financial analyst in Jamaica and the Caribbean. No guy tests. We don't talk from feelings. It's the data that we are talking about. What are we ending up at 2025, 2026, Ralston? Where are we going to end up by the end of March as it relates to growth for this country?
Well, we're ending up between 6 and 10% down.
Minus 6 to 10%.
Yeah, man.
And that is just over the last quarter that we're going to have a minus. Or what third quarter result has been released yet?
No, we haven't gotten that yet. So we're still waiting on starting for that, and then we'll get the fourth quarter. But the economy is projected to decline by between 6 and 10% at the end of the fiscal year.
And if we're going into a recession, Ralston, some special things going to have to be done to get us out of this recession, based on the fact that we have lost equipment, we have lost tools, we have lost infrastructure.
Fast and serious. It should have started already. We have to hit the ground running on January 1st.
And have you heard what to make you feel confident that we are going to hit the ground running on January 1st? Have you heard that from this government?
No, I haven't heard it. I don't have a government chief technician. The governor of the Bank of Jamaica is worried about that too.
And listeners and viewers, we're not preaching gloom and doom. We're talking the numbers.
Just talking
the
real
numbers about Jamaica.
Yep. We're talking the facts. The governor is concerned about that, and that is why he's taking all these proactive steps in order to contain inflation.
And if you don't think a joke, I need to find what the governor say,
Yeah, man. Play time with the people in here.
Gus says spending related to the recovery effort following.
Hold on. No, hold on. Let me just explain this clip here. Because those of you who have been listening to this show would have heard us speaking about the government need to start spending money. And that's why we are talking about the 115 billion where the man them have. Them have this from about the third week after the hurricane rally.
Yeah, man.
About the third week after the hurricane. the government have money, could have do all we need to do. Add up now to about 115 billion. They have not spent $1 of it as yet. And this is why the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Sir Richard Biles, is worried about it. Here we go. Hold on, sorry. Take up the mute.
The Bank of Jamaica says spending related to the recovery effort following the passage of Hurricane Melissa will help to boost economic activity. Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Richard Biles, says economic activity will see contraction in the immediate aftermath of the hurricane as businesses endured devastation and some key sectors shuttered. Mr. Biles says the medium to long term offers positive indicators.
The bank projects that the funding inflows from multilateral and private sources will support spending in the economy over the next 3 years, to the extent that the capacity exists to execute planned projects. For the financial year 2025-26, the bank anticipates a decline in real GDP in the range of -4% to -6%, largely due to the extensive damage to infrastructure and disruption to productivity activity. For financial year 2026-27, real GDP growth is projected in a range of -1% to 1%, reflecting the start of recovery efforts.
Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Richard Biles. He was speaking during yesterday's quarterly press briefing of the central bank. And the Bank of Jamaica governor is raising concern over the possibility of the continued trend of underspending of the capital budget.
Many years we do not meet our capital budget. We underspend it. A big part of that reason, I must say, is the process of procurement in central government is particularly onerous. For historic reasons, that's a system that exists there. The establishment, what is the agency called? NERA? I think it's NARA. The establishment of NARA is intended to address that procurement issue. That's my understanding. But you are correct. If all this money sits in Jamaica and is not spent, it means that the recovery will be much slower.
You hear that, people? Is the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Mr. Richard Biles. He must say that. Now, why is this important?
And he's just repeating something that I've been saying for 10 years.
And that's why I'm just about to tell them. Why is this important? Because this man on the phone line, Ralston Iman, has been saying this ad nauseum for the life of this government. 10 years. Mm-hmm. You are not, the government said to us, for the year, I'm going to spend $50 billion to fix up the country, fix up more house and fix up the road and fix up the bridges. And at the end of the year, the government might spend $40 billion. Why not spend the whole $50 billion?
And blame it on the procurement process, as he said.
Blame it on a process that is controlled by the Ministry of Finance.
Yep. And at that time, the ministry was alleged to have been run by the greatest minister of finance.
Raleigh, I am saying to the people of Jamaica, any system you are in control of, and for 10 years, that system will give you trouble, and you can't fix it, or get around it, or learn how to maneuver to get it work for you. Something wrong with you.
Of course.
Because the system remain the same.
That's clear. And that is why the damage done by Melissa was so great, because of the underspending of the country's infrastructure, which weakened it and make it vulnerable to things like Hurricane Melissa.
And let me say
that
this
is
to
why
people.
The infrastructural damage was so great.
And let me say this to people. Yes, we are blaming Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the GLP-led administration for the volume of damage that was done by Hurricane Melissa. Yes, we're blaming Andrew Holness and the GLP administration, and we have facts to back that up. We're not just blaming him because we feel like blaming him. We are blaming him because he has squandered over $120 billion that he could have used to fix up Jamaica. True that, Ralston?
Yeah, man.
Where that number
Because
come from?
There's a reason that the government mentioned the underspending of infrastructure. That is why I'm telling you about the 8.8 billion or 40% of GDP in damage.
Yes.
Because if we were spending to maintain the country's infrastructure, then the thing wouldn't be so devastating.
Yes.
Yeah?
So him could have build more house, Ralston.
Yeah,
people.
man, him could have build more drain, expand the drain, then fix the drain, then train the river, then
Fix the seawall down a Black River.
Yeah, all of those things could have been done. Yeah.
And this figure of 120 billion that I just spoke of, that the government could have spent to fix up Jamaica, where did that figure come from, Ralston?
Well, it's the amount of money that they overpaid on the debt. And not only that, we and the governor said that the ratings agencies, them S&P and Fitch, who they were trying to please. I said Jamaica is the only country that consistently spent over 3% of GDP to pay down the debt despite things like COVID-19 and all of those things. And at the same time, the man must say, although Jamaica did that, Jamaica have one of the slowest growth rate in the entire Latin America and the Caribbean, one of the lowest per capita GDP. That's what the ratings agency said.
And we're doing
that's
that while...
Why you do that and you not grow? Why you do that and the income of your people so low? Yep.
And you're doing that and the people of your country live in substandard housing.
Precisely. Yeah, that's what the people are saying.
We have a caller. Let me take the call. Caller, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes,
you
caller.
guys.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
I like the good work that you. Okay, I love the good work that you are doing, and I more believe, you see, that this prime minister wasn't groomed to be a prime minister, you know. Because remember that it's like Bruce Golan was step out and give him, and then it take the time to come back in, which people always say, a young people time and they want young people. But he doesn't know how to run a country.
True.
He doesn't know how to run a country. If he didn't know how to run, I listen to him a lot of time, you know. To this week, I listen to me hear him say, how by the end of January, then shall start give out some virtual grant to assist people who can hear if he help build back somewhere. And him not talk nothing about no development of country like him a put nothing infrastructure in or nothing for the country come back to. Him not talk nothing like that. Him not talking nothing like that. And it seems like the people that are around him, it's just seems like they are afraid to even say something to him.
Yeah, man. A one-man show.
It's like
him have the choir
with
him.
I'm alone for you.
Yes, yes.
A one-man show, man. Yeah, man.
I remember say a longer time I didn't hear Mr. Siaga say nobody have capable in the jail party to leave, you know.
Same kind of strategy. The difference is that Mr. Siaga was more competent. Yeah,
and that's really common.
Go ahead, caller.
And it's really a fact.
You're breaking up.
They don't know. Oh, I'm breaking up. They don't know he doesn't know how to lead a country. Mr. Siaga said no one in the Labour Party know how to lead a country in the 80s.
Well, he did say that. One done in the show.
Yeah.
All right, caller. Thank you. Your line not so bossy. When you have a better line, you call back. Yeah?
Okay, me don't know.
Yeah, man.
All right.
876-804-7072. If you have a question for Ralston, you're listening to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4. We're talking to Ralston Iman, the #1 financial analyst in Jamaica. Yeah? And as I said to you last week, when Ralston give you the figures, there are no other figures. And that's why our arguments cannot be challenged. The arguments that we put on here cannot be challenged. The government in 2016, Ralston had promised 5 in 4. That was a major promise in 2016, meaning that they would grow the economy by 5% in 4 years. To date, since 2016, what was the highest growth rate this Andrew Holness administration has got to in any
2%.
1 year.
2%. The annual average is 0.8%.
So they got to 2%. That was the highest. They have never passed 2%.
Never passed.
So by their standard, if your standard was 5% and you got to 2%, that was about what, 37%? So that means the government has failed by their numbers.
Yeah, man.
Out of 100%, them get 37%.
Yeah, man.
3.7 out of 10.
Yeah, man.
It's not
the
our
last
figures.
Time the last time the economy grew by 3% was under the man who then cost the most.
You're talking about Omar Davis.
Yeah, man.
But what happens to a country, Ralston, that doesn't grow? Average growth rate 0.8%. Less
Just like
than a
when
percent.
Poverty increase and the vulnerability to natural disasters increase.
But they said poverty is down to 8%, the lowest ever.
You believe in something?
If I believe it?
Yeah.
Is that what I believe? Are you challenging that figure, Ralston Iman?
Yeah, man.
Well, challenge it, let me hear.
Is a disconnection. When you go on the road and you see the people and empty there, you really believe that if poverty was 8%, why the devastation take place in our country? A poverty why the devastation is so great, the people have now no proper housing, no proper this, no proper that, no proper that. That's why the devastation was so great.
Over 150 houses
got
damaged wickedly.
Yeah. They think if people are rich, they're going to live in them kind of board house, they were so vulnerable and empty, cardboard house, plywood house, and all of them something. You believe that?
Is there a figure of about 700,000 people living on government land that are not theirs?
Yeah, man, almost a million.
So if you have that amount of people, listeners and viewers, the population of Jamaica is under 3 million. And it's so bad we don't even know the population of Jamaica because the census was not completed.
Precisely.
So if the population, even let's say 3 million, and you have 700,000 living on lands that are not theirs.
Them call them squatters.
The government call them squatters. Then how your poverty rate is at 3%, 8%.
Madness, man. It's not propaganda.
How does the housing stock measure in the poverty rate, Ralston? In the poverty
that is what
in
I'm telling you. Then don't use them thing there. That's the point I'm making. Then now look at them thing there. Yeah? They want to talk about, a certain amount of, the World Bank uses like $2 a day. Yeah? People are living off of like $2 per day. It has nothing to do with housing and all of them basic infrastructure. They just like how in calculations of the damage from the hurricane, them now use things like housing stock and, right. If the poverty rate was so low, why is it that so many people are on part? So if you have proper toilet and all that, you can't go on the part program.
About how much people are on part now?
Well, maybe about little under 500,000.
On path. On path, if you have fridge and TV, you can't go on part.
You can't go on it, yeah.
And you're saying that the World Bank use, if you're earning how much a day?
$2.
An average of $2. That's $320 in Jamaica. That can buy a patty. Just a patty.
Yep.
People.
Not at some places, because some places are $350, some places are $375. Yes.
So some places can't buy a patty.
Can't buy a patty. Yep.
So that can't buy a lunch at no lunch shop.
No, man,
the average lunch in Jamaica is the average lunch in Jamaica is rice and peas and chicken. That can't buy no rice and peas and chicken food. No way.
Yep.
And you're supposed to eat 3 meals a day. Ralston, with this amount of money that we are supposed to get from the multilaterals, the money where we have already, shouldn't that be able to get Jamaica's economy up and running again, back to where we were in before Melissa?
If you use it properly.
And we are talking about the multilaterals will be lending us about 3.6 billion. We have another 700 million US. And if we had that together, we're looking at about $4.5 billion.
Yep. Right. So that is one of the things that we're saying. One of the most urgent tasks for the government must be to complete the discussions with the multilateral agencies as quickly as possible in the start of the new year to get access to the money. So while them are waiting access for money from the multilateral, they're supposed to start spending money that them have and then get the money from the multilateral so that they can start rehabilitating the country's infrastructure. We need the road them, build back the road them, build back the house them, yeah, fix back the bridge them, better than before, train the river them, build more drains, yeah, clear the drains them when needs to clear, all of those things, and provide a multiplier effect now. The private sector will pick up from that now, start fix back them place and everything and start invest back in things like agriculture and energy and all of them something. Yes, so that is why the government have to lead the process.
It would start show that people now have money to spend again.
Precisely. Then the government would have to map up some liquidity because there'll be more goods and services to the people use the money and buy.
But shouldn't the government really be showing us what they are going to be doing, how they are going to do this, how they're going to grow the economy with this kind of money?
That is why we need the committee to be established so that them are going to do it. We need the committee to be established so that we have people on the committee who know how to do these things. Yeah. So we need the master builders, we need the engineers, we need the architects, we need the academic people, we need the environmental people for dealing with resilience and all of them. So we need all of those people. We can't just leave it to the Prime Minister and in the scholarship. It's not a dictatorship, which is what they want to try to operate like. It's not a dictatorship.
But they said that September 3 came and went and they are the victors.
I know. So and that's the strategy that they're working out. Yeah, I know.
So therefore we must just leave them. Can we just leave them, Ralston?
No, because it's our children will pay back the money. You know? The $3.6 billion in debt on the 2.2 trillion. Remember, this is one thing where people are remember. You know? We have 2.2 trillion in debt to carry already. Yeah? And we're going to borrow another 3.6 billion US dollars. Yeah?
2.3 trillion. That's how much US?
That's about 14 billion US. And we have borrowed another 3.6 billion. That will put us to almost 18 billion US.
And 18 billion US in debt. Our GDP is 20 billion. So they say. So the debt to GDP not going to be 68%?
No, man. No.
When is the government going to have honest conversation with us, Ralston? When are they going to come and answer some serious questions?
That's a very good question, brother. Very good question. And we hope it starts early in the new year. I will call upon the Jamaican people to demand that early in the new year because we have to start there, right?
Yes.
We have to start there, right?
Raleigh, we only can do what we're doing from where we are. Give the advice, share ideas with the government because it is obvious that they are out of ideas.
Completely, yes. And there's one man have the ideas, one man around the thing, and him not have no ideas. It's up at that place is a bottleneck or a hold back the country.
It's sad.
Yep, holding back the country. Yep.
Ralston, anything you want to add before we let you go this evening?
Well, what may I say, and this is something that we're going to discuss tomorrow. The thing is urgent. The country faces a 1% tax on remittances on Thursday morning. Remittances coming out of the US, which is 68% of all the remittances that we get. So we are said to the government, sir, even if you need to change the incompetent financial team, you need to complete the discussions with the multilateral agencies as early as possible so that the money can start flow. You need to increase your capital budget so you can start fix the road and fix back the bridge, them train the river, then bring back the thing to a sense of normalcy. So that the private sector will get a stimulus. So if you start build house, it means that the private sector man them will start buying more trucks, start buying more cranes, start buying more tractors, start buying more backhoes. Them to lead to investment. People start get income. It means them will start buy things from the corner shop them, and the economy will start growing again. The growth must be driven by rehabilitation of the agricultural sector, more assistance to the creative industries, more assistance to the logistics sector, yeah, greater degree of integration between tourism and all of those sectors. We need to diversify our trading partners because the thing have to be driven by exports and import substitution. It means that we save and earn more foreign exchange because 62% of the debt was denominated in US dollars before Melissa, and we have borrowed more US dollars. So we need to generate more US dollars. That will prevent the government from having to go into the foreign exchange market with 1.1 billion 33 times and to mop up 140 billion Jamaican dollars in order to stabilize the exchange rate. Those are things January 1 morning, we need to hit the ground running. And we'll call upon the people of Jamaica to pressure the administration to start these things. Yeah? It's not business as usual because we're operating in a very turbulent international environment, very uncertain and turbulent. Yeah.
In the case of underspending on the capital budget rally, does the multilaterals look at this when they decide to lend us this whole heap of money, $3.6 billion?
Of course, because the man them said that is why the man them send them back to go do the damage assessment in terms of the infrastructure losses, because the man them want to know how much money is needed to really get the infrastructure back up and running, because they know you can't have a proper economy without infrastructure. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Remember, prior to Melissa, Jamaica's capital budget was only 2.5% of GDP. In multilateral terms, you're supposed to be spending no less than 10% of GDP on a capital stock if you ever grow at a required rate. So and, even then,
go ahead.
When we have 2.5%, we still underspend the meager capital budget which was 2.5% of GDP. So we're 4 times below the internationally accepted norm, and we're still spending less than that.
And that points really to a lack of certain capacity, technical capacity.
Of course, technical capacity, precisely. And that is why the governor said that the NARA would help to address some of those problems, because he's anticipating that within the context of the NARA, they would have bring in man like Dr. Burgess and Richard Mullins and the people who know about construction and them things.
Why do you think the Prime Minister has taken so long to name this committee? Members
because
to the committee.
Because they really don't want to do it. They hear more everything up on the office of the Prime Minister. They're really not interested to do it.
So
they really don't want to do it. Yeah, they don't want to do it. As a result of that, they might hold back Jamaica.
And then nobody's asking him what is happening with it. They
go
to this press
everybody's
conference.
Afraid. If you notice, everybody is afraid. If you notice, all of the so-called sector leaders, apart from the engineers and Mullins and those people, if you notice, other sector leaders are quiet. The leadership of the PSOJ, the leadership of the JMA, the leadership of the Chamber of Commerce. You know, those people are quiet.
Somebody's asking, so how will the tax work on the remittance?
It means that the people who are going to send the remittances, if you send $100, the money might take $1 at a time.
So the government will take it from where you send. So less, less money will come to Jamaica.
Less money will come to Jamaica. As at the end of September, the total flows were $2.6 billion, just 2.9% above last year's level, and that was September. We don't get the figures for October, November, December yet, because apart from the tax, the ICE rates and high cost of living in the US and all of them, people really are struggling in the US in terms of cost of living, and people really are struggling with ICE and rate them workplace and all of them things. So, yeah, and then you add the tax to that, and you get the big problem that we're talking about.
Let me take a final call for you, Raleigh. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah,
Mr. Colin?
Yes, caller. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good night. And good night to Mr. Ralston.
Yes, sir. Good night, Mommy.
Okay, Mr. Colin.
Yes.
For the pod program, I was listening to you. And to hear that if you have a refrigerator and also a television,
and flush toilet,
you're not eligible.
And flush.
Is that right?
You're not.
No, if you have them thing, them not put you on part. Them consider you're able to manage your thing.
Oh my gosh, that is inhumane. You know why? That's basic right now for any family to have, especially if you have children. Yep. And the refrigerator. when you have something that okay, you want to put away in the refrigerator for another day
Of
instead of
course.
go ask your neighbor.
Yeah.
It's civilized time now.
Everybody want a
How
fridge
can
in
that
the
be?
house.
Huh?
Everybody want a refrigerator in the house.
And a television.
Those things are basic
You know
things,
that
yes.
thing. Go and talk, Colin.
No, man, you go ahead.
This system must be revised. And I want my PNP comrades to look into this because this is not right. This coming like you're going backwards instead of going forward. Eh? What they want the people who have ice box or ice pitcher? Them days they done. Mr. Prime Minister, where you I want go on?
No,
Mr.
but
Colin.
Carla, what that shows you though, you know,
Mhm.
if you have almost 500,000 people on path, that show you that the people who are on path are very poor. So when you look at it, then poverty in a population of 3 million, yeah, 500,000 is what? Nearly 15%.
Yeah, man.
The basis in which they categorize these people to give them the PAD program money, it must be revised because these are basic in today's time and now. A television and a refrigerator are basic amenities for persons' household use.
The producer is saying that there are a lot of people who trick the system as well. And there are a lot of people who are on there because of politics. And there are a lot of people who are not on it because of politics. Because I know people who are supposed to be on path who are not on path because of political victimization too. So, you know, Carla, it's a big mess.
And I understand that some persons, I don't know if it is true, that they are who know this one and know that one, just like what they do with the farmer program tickets and issue yes to their friends. So this must be revised. And I'm calling on the PMP to try and sort this out because this is not right. It cannot be right. Okay, that said, now I'm asking Moko and all the other investigatory organization in Jamaica for the government to investigate Tufton. Tufton must be investigated.
What for?
Also, Darl Vaz, the boss, and now the 7% raising light.
What?
This thing, I can't get over it, Mr. Colin.
Where you want to investigate Tufton for?
Where
you want to investigate Dr. Tufton for?
The boss.
Tufton have nothing to do with the boss.
$1.4 million.
That's not Tufton. The boss is the boss
Tufton. Okay. Wait. I'm mixing up the name. Wait, Mr. Colin. Tufton with the drill.
Yes, see it, yeah?
And
yes.
the $80 million.
Yes. And Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Yeah.
Yes. He must be investigated. It's a must. It's paramount.
Anyway, Carla, hold on. If you don't have no question for Ralston, let me just make Ralston. Let me see if this other Carla have a question. Ralston, we're letting Ralston go. So thank you, Ralston, for being with us this evening.
But hold on, Colin, before I go.
Yeah.
The figure for the party is 350,000, 106,590 students included.
150,000. 300.
350,000 included 106,590 students.
Oh, so it's about 200,000 adults then. 200 and odd. Yeah. We like give right figure. Thanks, Raleigh.
Right number.
Yeah, man. Blessings, my brother. That was Ralston Hyman, people. Yes, financial commentator in Jamaica, the top financial analyst on this island. Yes, caller, continue.
And so right here, Mr. Ralston, and they don't want people like that to help them out. Anyway, they know why. So that's for Tufton. And now for Vaz. I cannot get over this. How can you take $150 million to Lane JPS, right? And you come back and asking the people to pay 7% raise
Well,
on electricity.
Obviously, Vaz never know about the 7% raise. It hit him like how it hit we.
Well, it must roll back. It must. You never know. You sure you didn't know? You can't trust them now.
Let me tell you something, Carla. This government, you see, is not even reacting. Because the same thing happened under Melissa, under Beryl. Same thing happened last year under Hurricane Beryl. The same thing come back and happen under Melissa. And if one more come next year, it's going to be the same thing. Thanks for the call, though. Take another one.
Okay, all right.
Leaving it right there. 876-804-7072. We're taking your calls right here on Caribbean Radio. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, Colin.
Blessings, my brother. Welcome.
Yeah, man, I was hoping I would have catch up with Ralston to ask a question, but
wow, sorry.
I think I can put it to you. Listen, we've heard about these charges with this SSL venture thing. And you know what I'm kind of looking at? If you notice, we've heard about the different charges being laid against, like failure from compete with to comply with certain laws.
Yeah.
With these, you notice we haven't heard the word fraud in there, Colin.
That
leaves me. And if you listen, I listened to Deon Jackson Miller, and I was hearing her talking about the terms and fines that could be levied based on these charges. All of them, like, basically what we're happening now, we could hear decision coming on and all of these people get fined and turned loose.
But one of the things that Ed Boy was saying, though, that if they are found guilty, then a whole heap of lawsuit can fly.
Yes. That's the only compensation we have.
But the problem like with even those lawsuits, these men would have cleared them name already. I know have nothing, So when you're ready to sue them, they become men of zilch.
Because they had 3 years to move everything.
Yeah.
And like people are saying that, yes, when we don't have the computers, we can dig up and find, because everything that's entered digitally goes into a base that you can find. But how much of it have they, retracted and destroyed?
Well, let me tell you something about Jamaica, Carla. A man was found dead in a man's house, right?
I remember.
With stab wound and gunshot.
And the man was relegated to bed rest.
Well, the man was in the house when that happened. And the police said that there was no forced entry.
He was subjected to bed rest.
Not just that. To date, that man not reached down a station yet. Not even down a station him no go.
Exactly.
So that's the kind of Jamaica that we are dealing with, Caribbean Radio. That is the kind of Jamaica. And that man was the lawyer for the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Yep.
So that's why I said it's not complexion.
And then we can.
It's connection, because that man is a black man.
And we can throw Pantan in there. She's languishing.
Ah, yeah. Tala. So come back now to SSL. Miss Pantan is in jail for the last 2 years for the SSL issue. And these 3 people, you Crosscree, his daughter, and Zachary. 2 of them got jail Saturday night. Zachary go in Sunday morning.
They not got jail. Them pass through.
And they got bail Sunday.
Them pass through.
They got station bail Sunday of $1 million. And before the new bail act, Ralston told us yesterday, the police could only give bail for 400,000, no higher. But they are saying the new bail act of 2023 is silent. Hey, boy. And the level of bail police could give. Senior superintendent.
Colin, it will be yes, that was looking at that level. Yeah, and then get station bail and gone.
Somebody said, Colin, they leave the same Saturday.
A woman who needs medical care as long as she's lounging in jail.
Yes, because she not no connection.
But she can't run. That woman can't run.
And then Carla, who are all these people connected to? Who are all these people connected to?
One central figure.
Who are all these people connected 2. Mama Joy, big up yourself.
Yep.
No, Sister Tanya. The man where they find the man dead in a house when I go down a station yet. Who him connect to? Zachary Harding. Who him connect to? You cross crew where I come back from the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Colin.
Who they connect
Colin.
to? Eh?
Colin.
Yes,
remember, you know. Remember, you know, the man that they found the man dead in a house. Gunshot and stab wounds.
Yes.
You remember what he was prescribed? Bed rest.
The man never
now,
go to date. How many years that up now?
Several, many.
And he's still up on bed rest. He's still up on bed rest.
Yeah, but here's the deal now. Here's the deal now. You and I know if a gunshot can fire in your house and echo enough to wake you up.
And you know weak.
And instill. Well, and instill fright in you. Okay? And so much stabbing going on. And your dogs now get alerted and panic. I remember dog when they smell blood, they might act up, And there were dogs.
And the police says, this is in the police report, people, that there was no sign of force entry.
That tells you something. So I guess it becomes self-explanatory. But we see the way crimes are. Look at that. Look at that drug bust. Well, it wasn't a bust. That drug find up at Ian Fleming.
Oh,
to
God.
This day,
to
we
this
were
day.
Promised.
But caller, hold on, the caller. Do you remember a plane that went down at Clarendon?
Yeah, man. And it was gutted.
And them said them know. I think the then commissioner said them know who. You hear anything more about it?
Nope. No connection. Everything's severed.
Hey boy.
Everything does rub out.
Hey boy. Hey boy. Hey boy.
So my final point now.
Yes.
My final point now.
Yes.
Our head of the body says crime is down.
Yes.
What is crime?
No, he said, he makes some specifics. And I want
to
big him up. He said murders are down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put up in picture. Because me I give him a big up. Dr.
But
Kevin Blake.
They also said that they consider murders down as a crime reduction.
Yes. Shootings are down by 32%.
Colin, over the past week, how many murders have you heard of? Double murders and
hey. Yes, some numbers are gone. But you see, I want this murder to go down so bad that I am giving him.
We all do. We all do. But murders are going down and blue collar crimes are going up.
Oh yeah. And people are getting away with the blue collar crime. I remember a minister say, so if you are going to rob, you must rob big. In a press conference, I think him say it, a present minister of government.
And small robbers continue to get pushed into the chipper shredder.
Yeah, man. All right, my brother. Big up on thanks.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. We wait to see a lot.
Yes. The longest see us see the most.
Blessed, my brother.
Blessings. Conrad O'Brien.
Hi, Colin. How are you doing? I just want to weigh in quickly.
Yes.
I note your callers, including the last one, and yourself. You guys are concerned about the charge, larceny, right?
Yes, larceny.
That is the broad charge. That is the charge there. But remember now that about 8 or so indictments can flow from that charge to include money laundering, conspiracy, and all that. So the DPP now, when they reach to court, she will read out the charges.
So more charges. So you're saying more charges will be coming?
Absolutely, and about it. Because what happened, the conspiracy, that is the broad charge. It was a similar thing with a real read and so on. And then as it goes further, all the charges are laid out. So that is within the gift of the DPP. So don't worry about the initial charge that you see there that we talk about last night. About 8 to 9 indictments can flow from that.
Oh,
all right? So
Sister Mervyn, let's not detain
ourselves with that.
But Obi, the whole thing about fraud and checking it, because
it will be fraudulent conspiracy and all of that. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Hold on.
3 former executives facing fraud charges in relation to the scandal hit investment firms.
That's what I said. Facing fraud charges. So the whole thing surrounds fraud, don't it?
Absolutely. So there's a number of things that will flow from that. And remember that there is also money laundering and all that. So let's not, and that is why I keep on saying to us that, listen, it is not as simple on the face of it as some of us wanted to do. I said, boy, I don't believe nothing will come up with. A myriad of charges will flow.
But you know what I want to say though, Obi? You know what I want to say? If these people got bail Sunday, the next time Miss Pantan go court, she must get bail.
Absolutely.
These are the big fishes. These are the big fishes of SSL. No, so? No, them are big people, them.
Absolutely. And I don't believe that what we're saying in the public sphere will have any impact on the judge, him or herself. However,
absolutely not. But in fairness,
hold on there, Colin. 1 sec. But what happened is that the judge will now look at it and look at what happened out of her heart. Because, people will say, boy, you're talking about this thing and you'll be influencing the judge. Judge need not be influenced from what we're saying. But on the face of what happened on Sunday, the judge will now look at that to basically use that to bolster the case of granting bail to Pantan.
I want to call it, Obi, natural justice. If the bosses, because all of them people are work above Miss Pantan, and if the bosses can get bail, why the little man must stay at jail?
Colin, there's something that you must
we're not trying to influence the judge or interfere with the case, but we just have to based upon natural justice. Just looking at it. The boss, the people who own the company, where even if I'm Miss Pantan thief the money, them should I ensure that Miss Pantan not thief no money. They get bail.
Colin, there's a fly in the ointment as well. Remember that Miss Pantan said that she gave a statement under duress.
Oh, yes.
And she retracted.
Oh, yes. Let me take a call, Obi.
She move away from that statement because she said she was forced to do it under duress.
Marie.
So Colin, I am saying that
Hold on, Marie. Hold on. Go ahead, Obi.
Yeah.
1 second. Even if I have to be stand out as a sore thumb and basically carrying this line, I am one who not seeing this as simple as boy, it is just a distraction or whatever. I think there is something in this, and I'm saying, watch this. Fairly young lady who is the present DPP, at least she has the cojones to basically prefer charge. So far, what the police did in terms of offering that bail, station bail for $1 million, let's see how that will play out. Because, of course, Colin, we're also aware that it is also in the remit of the judge to rescind the bail when they attend upon court.
Hold on, let's go to Annette. And there's something that I want to put forward before I go much further. Because I don't want people to think it's all bad things happening in Jamaica. Something good is happening. And I want to highlight it in a minute. But go ahead, Marie.
Yeah, you know something, Colin, good night.
Yes.
It's a pity, see, that certain positions in Jamaica in the judiciary is not elected position. Like our foreign, the attorney, attorney general, and so you vote for them, except at the the level, the president level where they get appointed. Because you know what? It probably would force some people, you see, to really act because, based on your record, you'd be going up against somebody who could say, this is what you have done. But now, say, for having a kangaroo court, no, we're not calling. But I'm saying that, if certain positions were not like selected or, appointments,
maybe we would have better jurisprudence what you think about that? What you say about that?
But is our jurisprudence so bad? I don't think our jurisprudence is that bad.
People don't have no faith, Colin. People don't have no faith. You see, all people are so vested in this SSL thing. Make them go to court and get off. And yes, you see, a lot of people already have said not now come out of it because people are of the notion that once you come from a certain social demographic in the society, it's like you get a free pass. You know, people are, even when you're guilty as sin.
Well, there are a lot of evidence to that fact, though, Marie. So you can't blame nobody for saying it because you can point to a lot of things.
Yes, I know. You just pointed one with a murder, gunshot, whatever. A man slept like Rick Van Winkle. Him never hear nothing and no force entry. It is so documented. All of these facts that from a certain ilk of the society. Like you say, not even complexion or do it a connection. That you could have white like pelican, whatever. I don't want to use the word what old type people say. If you don't have the connection, you will go down still. But moving along, you see, because I wanted when Roston was on to ask about. So the people now going to have to pay that 1% when they send in remittance plus the transfer fee. I wanted to ask Roston about that, but maybe him come on another day. I don't know. That might make remittance go down. No,
yeah, man, the 1% will be taking from it plus what you're normally paying to send the money.
Transfer fee.
Yeah, so it's like an additional 1%.
1%. All right. One more thing before I go to Colin, right? So they're talking about. I'm happy about the shootings were gone, because I lost a son last year to gun violence, right? And before I'd lost a sister too. So
wow.
I'm one that's happy when shootings go down, right? But Colin, what is the net gain? You see, if you have 600 less murders or 400 less murders, but then you have 400 murders in extrajudicial.
300, not 400. 300 murders, 300 killings. And let's not say they are judicial killing. We're not sure about that. We know there are questions. So we have about 306 police shooting killings this year.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
But let me just hold on. Let me just go to this clip here before I come back to your OB. Because I just put up the commissioner a while ago. I said me I big up the commissioner of police. Because murders are down, and he had this to say.
Blake says 2025 will be remembered as a historic year with significant reduction in murders. Commissioner Blake says 2025 has delivered massive results in the fight against crime, but he maintains that the police will remain patient, informed, and unrelenting in the bid to stamp out criminal elements. In his comprehensive end-of-year review, Dr. Blake promised that with the 43% reduction in murders and 17% decline in major crimes, the Jamaica Constabulary Force will remain measured but firm as it looks to save additional lives.
It is in this same vein that I offer the Jamaican public this assurance. The gains we are seeing are sustainable, provided this level of cohesion, support, and partnership continues. Shootings are down by 32% compared to last year, and reported rapes declined by 27%. While we remain acutely aware that even one violent act is one too many, the downward trajectory is undeniably encouraging. So significant is the reduction in violent crimes that even while there have been relatively small increases in two areas, namely robberies and break-ins, there is still significant reduction in overall major crimes.
Up to December 20, the country had officially recorded 649 murders, a historic drop when compared with 1,136 for the same period in 2024. The last time Jamaica recorded a similar figure was in 1994, when 690 killings were recorded.
I have to play that because I like that. Obi, what you say?
All right. Colin, the truth is that, if we have whatever reduction in crime we have, murder in particular, we have to heal it. And like Marie, I have suffered at the hands of gunmen. I lost a brother to gun violence, gunman murdered him some years ago. So I want to hear the reduction in the numbers. But one thing where we must also highlight, Colin, is that even against the background of the reduction of murder, just this week here, we continue to see the ugly scourge of murder still continue to raise its head, where we have had double murder. All right? So it's not by the stretch of the imagination is over. Still in our country, with under 3 million of population, recording a murder rate of close to 700, it's still very high. And, Colin, we cannot discuss the murder reduction without looking at the exponential increase in our brothers and sisters being killed by the police, and certainly, and I'm not talking about those who are gun-toothed in woodlands at the police, but certainly based on what we saw at Territory Lane, I think in Eastern Kingston and so on, where those heinous situations by the police were captured and taped, there are some serious questions that we must ask Colin. However, let me hear the reduction in the figure. I also want to just say quickly, Colin, I was trying to get in while Marie was speaking.
Marie's still here. She's still here.
But what I'm saying, yes, I wanted to make the point because, you see, if we're teaching and educating that we must go the full hog, we conflate things that relate to the judiciary that has nothing to do with the judiciary. For example, that case that we talk about ad nauseum within the person's house that the murder took place, it had nothing to do with the judiciary. It's a police situation.
Yes.
And unless the police bring the case
to the court,
the judiciary has nothing to do with it. So let's be clear. And I think personally, sometimes we go over the top in basically saying,
but Obi,
hold on, Colin.
Hold on a little bit. I'm missing something here. Did somebody say that killing had something to do with the judiciary? I didn't hear.
Man. Marie basically lumped the whole thing and so on, and you went along with her. Maybe not.
Because I never get that understanding. No, I never get that understanding.
Yeah, man.
That had nothing to do with the judiciary. Hold on, Marie's still here. Go ahead, Marie.
No, what I was saying, am I on back, Colin?
Yes, man, go ahead.
What I was saying, see, when the ordinary person outside see things that is so blatant that are not that people get out of jail card free and stuff, people lose confidence in the judicial system because them,
no. To use the judicial system, maybe if you use the justice system,
you can't use the judiciary in the same
right. No, the judiciary there is wrong. If you say the justice system or the whole system of policing in Jamaica, but the judiciary is when it gets to the courts, and if it has not gotten to the court, then you couldn't lump it like that. I didn't get it that way, the Obi. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, man.
So let's go back to what Obi was saying. Yeah.
So that kind of thing, Colin. So I think sometimes also we have to basically guard against the situation where when we don't get the justice going our way, we basically bemoan or decry the justice, the judiciary. And for example, Colin, that is why, for example, somebody like myself, I feel a Paul Buchanan, because Paul Buchanan as attorney recognized that we have layers in the judiciary. And what happens when they don't get the justice at that level, they basically test it and going forward. And that is why we understand that the 13th of January, Paul Buchanan matter is going to
the Court of Appeal
will be here. So we have to be.
All right, Obi, rest a little bit. Let me just go to Marie, and then we see if we can take a few more calls. We have another 10 minutes.
Yeah, in closing, you see, like I myself, like Conrad and you too, Colin, we hail the downtrend in murders. But I was just asking, if we have a downtrend in murders, but we have an uptick in police killings, I'm asking what is the net gain? Because to me, Jamaicans still are dead. So, not that we don't want the bad men them out, but that is my take on it. Because we should not have an uptick in extrajudicial killings that people question. Because, like the territory and other things.
Murray, again, I am saying to you that you saying this extrajudicial, just say police killings, because until these things are proven, we don't want to put it out there that way.
Okay.
So police killings.
Of course, Colin, on the face of it, there are some that we look at and it seems, it seems as if there are
right, and that's why we're asking the question generally, and that's why we have this concern about the uptick in police killings. We have a serious concern about that, because we can say it this way: we don't believe that all those killings are justified.
Justifiable.
And we have
all right, gentlemen.
some evidence and chief.
Thank you, Mary. You were saying, Obi?
Right.
And we have some evidence and chief so far.
We have seen some videos that not look good.
Some videos.
Right.
Videos. So,
but we don't know if there are other videos or there are other side to all of this thing. But we are concerned, and we are also concerned about the refusal of seeing body cameras being worn by our police officers. And I am using that word refusal because for all these years we have been hearing about body cam order and disorder, and you come tell me about backroom software or hardware. We understand the whole thing. It seems like there is no intention of getting our police officers to wear body cameras on these special operation.
Yeah, Colin, and that is why I have been so livid. Or certainly, I remember one of my commentary, Conrad did, and my program Straight Up, when I took George Davis of Nationwide to talk because of the way he dealt with Paul Buchanan, because Paul Buchanan dared to basically use the justice system, the court system, to basically test what happened in West Central St. Andrew. This is what we must do, and we need more people to do it. As a matter of fact, Jamaica.
Obi, him never said that about the Prime Minister when the court tell the Prime Minister that they will not force the Integrity Commission to certify his filing. And the Prime Minister go back to court. Him never said that about the Prime Minister.
He wouldn't say that. And you see, Colin, this is why people like yourself, I, and some of us, we are going to hold these guys accountable. Some people will frown, and some people not will like when we speak, but we are speaking truth to power, and we dare people to come and test what we're saying, right? Why would you have a problem? A major media practitioner, why would you have a problem with a man who went to the people in an election, believe that something went wrong, and decide to use the avenues that is available to him to test that? And one must remember that today, Andrew Michael Holness sits in the office of Prime Minister Jamaica House because he uses the similar system that Paul Buchanan is using.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be good for Andrew, but it's not good for Paul. It's good for the geese, but it's not good for the gander. I wonder. When I listen to these guys sometimes.
I don't figure that way on that, Colin.
All right, thanks, my brother.
Bless you, and
much appreciated.
I'll be back on Monday for sure at 93 FM.
On 93 FM and on the Conrad Obi the Fireman at YouTube. Big up yourself, my brother. One love.
Absolutely, my brother. God bless you. Take care. Man. One love.
People, that was Conrad O'Brien from News Talk 93 FM. And this is the place where we put the facts out there. Our intention is to speak the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. We have no intention of being balanced. We never seek balance. Because to seek balance is to become an hypocrite. There's no balance between God and the devil. Is Chris right that yesterday in the chat room, If you say God or God, you say. And when you say something good about God, there's no requirement to find something good about the devil for say. And if I say something good about one party, there's no requirement to go find a whataboutism of the next party. And for me, for the last 10 years, Jamaica has had one government. Just one. Which is the government, the administration of Andrew Holness. Caller, good evening. You have 2 minutes.
Yes, Colin, I have to call you back. Something I want to ask you. Yes, do you believe the people? Wait, first of all, before I go there, first of all,
you have 2 minutes.
People believe that nothing will come from this situation with these SSL people?
Because they are connected.
They take so long. Huh?
Because we think they are connected.
No, I don't know sure if you're hearing what I'm saying.
You say why? So you are telling me why the people not believe nothing will become of it. I think it was a question you were asking.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes, right, yes. Because if they are going to arrest them, why take so long?
Well, you have to find the evidence.
They were able to do away with some of the evidences.
But maybe
why take so long?
No, but maybe on the contrary, the investigators finally found the evidence needed. I don't know if you remember an interview with Paula Llewellyn. He said that she said that there was a critical thing that the police was looking for to find. And so maybe they have just found it. I don't know.
Well, I hope it's that, because, I mean, they take too long. They really take too long to arrest them. And then if you notice, Colin, there's somebody in the middle right there. Somebody in the middle operating. In that, why I say that? Because for them to just get bail so quickly, they I don't think they even stand up for even 20 minutes at the police station or whatever.
Get them on bail. That's what we talk about, the connection. To get bail
so quick, so somebody is standing right there in the middle, like a referee,
caller.
And I kind of know who it is. I know who it is who's standing there.
All right, caller, we have to go. Quickly, because we have to go now.
Yes, what I'm going to ask the investigators to do, and the judge, please do this thing honestly. Why? You don't know after all of this how your character will be measured. And lastly, quickly, the people in the U.S., Colin, I believe
hold on,
lost their money, I believe they can take it from the U.S. and have lawyers intervene in it and perhaps the FBI. I think
Leave it right there. Leave it right there. Let me say thanks to all the listeners this evening. Thanks to Ralston Iman. Thanks to Conrad O'Brien. Thanks to Head Boy who was on with us. And thanks to all the people on Caribbean Radio. 97.9 HD4 Brogary Radio. This has been the Colin Bell Show for yet another Tuesday evening. Do remember to join me tomorrow evening live on Portland Spice TV for one more time, the final time for 2025. Yes, we'll be on tomorrow evening on Portland Spice TV. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Give us a like, no? Touch the thumbs up, give us a share. Yeah, man, we are here and we speak the truth, nothing but the truth, so help us, God. Once again, like up the channel, man. Touch the thumbs up. It no cost nothing if you touch the thumbs up. Touch it up, touch it up, touch it up. And tell somebody about Portland Spice TV. Become a Portland Spice ambassador as we are on our way to 9,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Can we get there before the end of the year? Share the channel with some people in your contacts, please. Share it up and tell them to subscribe and follow Colin Bell at YouTube on Portland Spice TV. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again tomorrow evening for the Colin Bell Show. Big Show Wednesday. Peace out. One love.